Okay, when should they figure themselves out? What's that age? What's the maximum age that you would give a girl like advice to a woman that listen, you should have yourself figured out here now because that would be the prime level for you to get what you want and stuff like that. What would be that age?
I think 26 is a great age.
26.
Absolutely.
Okay, now what's the probability that 26-year-old?
Welcome back to another video. It's your boy EJ. I'm on live right now, man. Make sure you guys hit the like button when you come in here. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing, baby? I feel good. Action with my lover. I feel good. I'm telling you that I love you, cause I feel good. I can't hear this nigga Mario, but I see his mic thing going on. And I know this nigga talking, cause all he do is talk. Oh fuck, I'm dead. People under me, meaning they on you. Damn, Strife. There's two niggas, true CC. On the third floor, be careful. Then little walkaway thing. There's two of them, just like the old man. Be careful. The one above that one. The third one. Yeah, that one. Yep. Be careful. How y'all doing, man? Where you going around playing the game? You got this motherfucking game. They're not the ones that got me, bro. They make the names. Be careful. Got you, bro. Shit. No, one of yeah, that's the other one. Yeah, that's the nigga. Damn. Damn. Then the two niggas that got me to them old niggas. What they at? That bitch ass nigga, man. They come back right now though. I ain't gonna lie, I'm way too goddamn hard on the phone. Y'all can play some more and make good decisions. I'm gonna try to help you though, just help me out. Oh my god, Margie. No, it's what I'm saying. My bad, bro. I might not even here. I'm probably medic. I'm coming on top. That. We got a trophy? Nope. Alright, good. Close the door though. I'm right behind you. I ain't gonna mark you this time. Come. Oh, damn. Boy, I shouldn't have jumped down, huh? How about people doing, man? It's your boy EJ, NBA, man. I'm on live right now. Make sure you hit the like button. We got 47 people in here. Let's get the likes up, man. We got 47 people in the building. Get the likes up. Or you can get off my live. Hit that like button, man. I'll get your ass off my live, man. Y'all got any questions? Let me know. What y'all think about them, let's go to sale, bro. Hell no. Let's, what y'all think about them puppies, man? What y'all think about that Duke Escatana puppies, man? Let me know what y'all think about them puppies, man. Real question. Tell you shit. Real question. What y'all think about them questions, man? I mean, what y'all think about them puppies, man? I can't even think right now, dog. No cap. Do your thing. I ain't in no position right now, bro. What the fuck I do with my mob? Bro, I'm so fucking stupid, man. What the fuck I have to do with that fucking mob? There's an arm in this bitch, right? You need to go back arm. There's a gold gun in here too. I think you didn't know this. Oh, you got guns already, huh? You good? Oh, shit, my mic off. Yeah, my goddamn mic off. This nigga ain't heard nothing. Damn, bro. I kept marking the arm and telling y'all to pull up. Y'all didn't even pull up. Everything. You ain't come back? What's up, man? How we doing, man? Y'all watch me play the game? What's going on, man? Listen, check this out. I got puppies on the ground. If you're interested in one of the puppies, let me know which one y'all like the most, man. Did y'all like any of the puppies? Did y'all ever watch the video of the puppies dropping? Come on, man. Did y'all even watch the video of the puppy drop? Did y'all even check the video out? Hmm? Did y'all already check the video out? Yeah, that Katana X dude. Y'all play this game about 20 minutes, y'all. I can't stand to play no longer than that. Once I die a couple times, I can't play. I'm not a gamer, y'all. I'm real bad at the video game. I'm just be honest with you. I bought my first game maybe 4 years ago, a year after I was in a relationship. About 2 years after I was in a relationship, maybe a year or so, 2 years after I was in my first real relationship. And I was like, bro, this girlfriend, boyfriend shit so boring. Like, if I ain't finna be going from my partner house, or going to this girl house, kicking it with my family, just doing a lot of shit, what else am I gonna do? And that's when I was in Minnesota. I ain't had no family up there. So I was like, fuck it. I went online, well not online, I went to the store and bought a video game. And it was when this Call of Duty came out. I bought this game and I bought another game called Assassin's Creed. It was about 2018, 2019. Yeah, about 2019, something like that. Bought this PS4 in 2019. I ain't bought another game since. I ain't bought another game to play. None of that. Not a gamer. But anyway, how y'all doing, man? How we feeling? Y'all hit that like button for me, man. God, dog. I've been watching little videos, doing little reaction videos and stuff like that. Well, not even doing reaction videos, but I have been watching videos. And I've been thinking about, starting to react, you dig? I've been thinking about starting to react a little bit, man. I wanna do more stuff on this channel, man. Cause I got other channels and stuff that I do other stuff on. But I was like, man, I got this channel and it's just sitting. Like, I need to use it. I'm not breeding dogs. Well, I got a lid on the ground right now, but I told you I wasn't breeding again until 2025. And I'm talking about 2025, late 2025, like the end of the year of 2025. The end of the year. That's when I would start back setting everything up as far as, the kennels and all that stuff. Late 2025. Right now it's business. It's getting business in order. Just doing the right stuff to get the business in order. That way, if I want to take out a loan or anything through the business, I could do it. Cause if I had this shit set up the way it's supposed to be set up, all the money I done spent, all the money I done made, I could have done my God, I would be up at least $200,000 to $300,000. I would have a crazy credit. I'm talking about I did this all the way wrong. Like, all the money I invested buying all this stuff, I didn't use credit cards to do anything. I spent cash on everything. I didn't build no credit with the business. I didn't build no business credit with this business. Like, they would have seen how much money I was making and spending. Like, they wouldn't have no problem offering me, really nice credit card with my business. At least $100,000, $75,000, $50,000 credit card. At least 50. At least 50, because I had that in cash. So it would be nothing to get that. You know what I'm saying? So instead of spending all this money cash, I could have put a loan on the money, still had my cash, still, you know what I'm saying, and then paid them back as I built capital. So I've been learning a lot of lessons as far as the breeding the dog and all that type of stuff. It's an order to this, It ain't just buying dogs, doing it. No, it's an order, and I'm just getting the order in order. I'm just getting my things in order. If that makes sense, But
If you believe,
I'm glad y'all like the content, with the dogs and all that. I still got Grizzly, so I be doing videos of Grizzly and the puppies that Hector, the Katana F Duke had. I'll be over there doing videos and stuff and trying to kind of just, see the growth on them puppies and, get as many videos I can and try to get them dogs sold, get them puppies sold. Because like I was telling Hector, man, they become dogs fast, Having a puppy is cool and all that, but the puppy stage is so short-lived. That's why people always want to buy new dogs because they love the puppy stage. I mean, they love the big dog stage too. It's a lot cleaner and smarter, of course, but puppy stage is like the baby fever of the dogs, Then when they actually get the baby, they can't sleep. That's how it is with dogs. Well, it ain't all the way like that, but kind of.
Let's see how it works.
I wish I had like an interactive chat, man.
People ask me all the time, Chris, if you could only take one supplement for the rest of your life, which one would it be? The answer is easy. Red.
Joining me now is Xavier De Rousseau, a former BLM activist, and Anton Daniels, a YouTuber, content creator. Xavier, let's start with you. You say you were personally, after watching them, offended by Obama's comments?
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, Obama's not as talented of a liar as he used to be. But quite frankly, my ancestors fought way too hard for me to have the ability to learn how to read. Just for Obama to expect me to be so uneducated, to think that I would vote for Kamala Harris simply because she claims to be a black woman. And I mean, if people want to stop having Kamala Harris be called a DEI hire, maybe he should stop trying to remind us of her demographic every 5 minutes. Black men not supporting Kamala has nothing to do with her being a woman. It has everything to do with her lack of accomplishments over the last 1,359 days.
Well, Anton, I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, the shtick is kind of worn thin with Obama, How you doing, Pittsburgh? That whole, it just seems very 2002 or 2008, I should say. Right? It doesn't quite have the same appeal as megastar-ish as he is.
It's a Hail Mary pass considering that we did vote him in based off of identity politics. And I'm not saying that all is bad because he did do some things that I didn't necessarily disagree with that Trump absolutely did better than him. But at the same time, I felt that it was incredibly disrespectful because he's making the assumption that we're not educated enough to lead our families, to look at the policies, to understand exactly what's going on with immigration, and we're supposed to overlook everything that they did over the last 3.5 years that was not in our favor. When I say our, I'm talking about the American people, let alone men, let alone black men, and we're supposed to vote for her because of some misogynistic reason that's made up. And instead, we've learned how to educate ourselves, and now they've sent their Messiah back to rein us in and bring us back into the Democratic plantation. And most men that I've spoken with have said that it's absolutely disrespectful and we're done with Obama.
Well, Xavier, again, when he says, you're lucky Michelle's not here, he does. What is that supposed to mean? I guess it's supposed to be funny because she'll scold them in a more convincing or scarier fashion. It's kind of treating young black men as children, almost like you're children, and mommy's coming back and mommy's gonna chastise you and you're gonna get punished, but you're supposed to vote against your own economic interest to make Michelle and Barack happy and their 4 mansions.
It's absolutely degrading, and black men are sick of being reduced to being expected to think with our skin color. We have seen how terrible the Obama, Biden, Harris trilogy has been for our country. It has completely demoralized our country. And
this dog shit changed my life, and to even play like it didn't play a major part in my success, I would just be lying, simply lying. My dogs are amazing. I've made incredible new partnerships, friendships. I've created a lot of revenue, a lot of business through everything I've had to endure, everything that I've accomplished. This is one of my best investments ever to this day, by far.
Obama has no credibility because this is the same man who heavily endorsed Joe Biden, and we all can feel in our pockets and we can see it for sure at our border just how terrible the Biden-Harris administration has been for our country. And Obama admitted himself back in an interview with Steve Colbert that if he could, he would run our country from an earpiece down in the basement, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's exactly what he's doing.
Now, Xavier, Anton, the media are really pushing Obama to be the, rescue agent for Kamala's campaign. Watch this.
Barack Obama, with joy and with humor, is able to sort of get through to an audience that it's not okay to lie. Mm-hmm. It's not okay to sell the presidency. It's not okay to be a narcissist and to have the reins of the presidency.
Anton, so Kamala's joy campaign isn't really working. So Obama's going to come in, and again, you're supposed to make less money in real terms,
right,
and be happy with it to make Obama and like MSNBC happy? I don't understand this argument.
They took the same blueprint that got Obama elected, and he was a first for us, right? So our grandparents and our parents and things like that wanted to see this happen, but they were largely voting out of ignorance and voluntary ignorance because they only wanted that identity politics in order to push him through into the presidency. But admittedly, where he was charismatic, she isn't. And so we can see through her. She's a chameleon. When they unleashed her and they allowed for her to be able to take reporters' questions and things like that, it showed that she was completely incompetent. And frankly, not only do we feel disrespected, but I'm uncomfortable with Obama standing in front of us trying to scold us
and then
divert our attention away from the things that's really meaningful.
They're not really watching politics. They're not really watching.
I'm not comfortable with him.
They don't care about nothing.
They just vote Democrat because they feel like they're I don't want to hear any more messages of joy. I can feel it with my pocketbooks. My friends can feel it with their pocketbooks. And we're ready for him to get out of our way.
I mean, Xavier, I saw something on YouTube. I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was Instagram. But it was a young man, African American, and he was talking about the price of food. And I think he was.
Anybody that's a Democrat right now is like, I'm talking about anybody. It ain't got nothing to do with black, white, none of that. If you a Democrat right now, you're really not American. If you vote Democrat, you're not American. That's not American. It's not. If you vote Democrat, you're voting against America. Literally. Literally. I know a lot of y'all probably not into politics and shit like that, but it's that deep.
Some fast food place, I can't remember what. I think might have been McDonald's. But just the nuts and bolts, when you go through just what a Happy Meal costs, the differential in simple things that families like to treat themselves to, that's shocking. Like in Obama, that doesn't affect him. It doesn't affect Hillary. It doesn't affect Trump. But Trump somehow has that ability to say, that's not acceptable in America. But they think Obama's charm is going to override daily life for people. The charm offensive from him, it's not 2008 any longer.
I can't emphasize enough that being a young black voter, it feels like the Democrats are constantly trying to gaslight me about my own reality. I know how expensive food is. I know how expensive gas is. And I know how many illegal immigrants are running around in Los Angeles. We are sick and tired of being expected to feel good with Barack Obama, or now they're trying to put the ovarian version of Barack Obama up there and tell us that she is talented. She is absolutely not talented. And on behalf of black men, it's not that we're opposed to having a female president, because Miss Ingram, I would love to vote for you if you ever decide to run.
Only if you guys are in my cabinet. That's the only way I'm going to do it. Xavier and Anton, thanks for spending time with us on a Friday night. We appreciate it.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling.
If I was looking for a creative way to make some extra income from home, I'm talking about $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000 per month consistently.
Joining me now, talk about this for a moment, and then pleasanter things. Ramos,
Yo, I'm trying to get as many loans as possible. I'm trying to get money, man. Yeah, why you start bringing it up, man? I'm trying to get money. I'm trying to liquidate shit. I'm finna do this shit the right way this time. 2025.
Vivek Ramaswamy, businessman, author of Truths, The Future of America First. All right, Vivek, welcome to the show. I want to dig into some more pleasant issues, but this Barack Obama speechifying, I guess he was in Pittsburgh or someplace, gave a couple speeches. Playing the race card, not the economy, not the immigration, not crime, not safety, you know, not anything. It's all about race. And he's telling the brothers, quote unquote, to get back on board. What do you make of that? How do you see this one?
I think it's deeply disappointing, Larry. Frankly, one of the encouraging things about this election is we're seeing the breaking apart of so-called ethnic coalitions. Many Hispanics, many Black Americans coming aboard for the first time to the Republican Party to vote for Donald Trump. I think it's a beautiful thing. One of the accomplishments of the civil rights movement was to say that you can't predict something about somebody's content of character based on the color of their skin. Yet now the modern Democratic Party says based on the color of your skin, you're obliged to vote for a particular candidate. That's deeply disappointing. But I'll give you one silver lining on this, Larry, is that when the Democrats lose this election, as I hope and increasingly expect they will, I hope it's their lesson that identity politics doesn't work. Because here's what Kamala Harris and Tim Walz actually both share in common.
I ain't gonna lie, like, he said a couple things right in there. Like, you talk to a nigga, most of these niggas that got these cars, they be thinking like, trophy this, trophy that. Like, man, what? It's a car, nigga, ain't no motherfucking trophy, nigga. Fuck a trophy, nigga. They get participation trophies right now. Right now in the world, anything you participate in, they give a participation trophy. Trophies don't mean shit. Fuck a trophy. I want the money. Give me the money. Keep trophy. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying, right? Want no trophy, bro. Want the money. Fuck them cars. Cars sitting up in the garage. Man, fuck that car, man. What you talking about? That ain't nothing to think about. Like, when I get down on my dick, some shit don't make sense, I sell everything. It's the reason you got it. You got it to, if you need to sell it, you sell it. That's the reason you have anything. You dig? I know one of my puppies, black and white and a little pink with itchy skin, but she's getting better. Yeah, them dogs, bro. Yeah, them skin, dog having skin problems though. That's crazy how like
circle. Okay, square. Square. Okay, triangle. Triangle. That's crazy. Rectangle. Rectangle. Rectangle.
yo, man, I keep getting shadow banned. That shit crazy, dog. Like,
Finger down, psycho edition. If you put 5 more fingers down, you're a psychopath. Finger down if you like to eat ice cubes. Finger down.
what's going on, family? Yeah, I'm replying back to, man, I got so many messages, crazy. I watched a little bit of your live last night. It appeared to be something heavy weighing on you. I live in Houston too, and if you ever want to go to church with me, let me know. You will love. God has a plan for your life. You want to go through the storm right now, and you know you will be who you called to be. Called to be the moment you surrender to Him. You're too handsome with too bright of a light in you to be anything other than great. Take care of yourself. Shout out to you.
I have said on this long enough. Somebody needs to hear this.
Yeah, but yeah, it's crazy, bro. I ain't even realize it, but man, I got so many messages, man. Yeah, TikTok been tripping. They been hiding all my messages, man. I'm telling you, I got some shit in here. A lot of businesses in here. Some money sitting in this motherfucker, man. Gotta get the money, y'all. Always go get the money. What y'all think of the puppies, man? Y'all ain't let me know what you think of the puppies, man. Let me know what y'all think of the puppies.
Hey, what she look like, bro? Short, question.
Crazy Wazy.
Kenny wants to. What the fuck? Alright, let's see if,
So many people with no substance, y'all. Shit running rapid, man. Should be against the law to speak without. I'm telling you, why they be doing that, dog? Niggas be halfway doing shit and want good results, man. That's why this NBL shit means something to me, man, because I really go hard at this shit.
You think about this, one's a black woman, one's a white man. Both of them got their job as vice presidential nominee because of their race and gender. So it turns out identity politics doesn't work in any direction. It didn't even work when they tried to go with Tim Walz in that direction either. So when they lose, I hope that's a lesson, not just for Democrats, but for the entire country, that we're done with the race baiting, we're done with the identity politics, and we want a country that lifts all of us up, regardless of our skin color, and unites Americans based on our ideology, rather than our race, our gender, or our skin color. That'll be a beautiful thing.
Yeah, well said, Vivek, well said. Now, a fellow you know, a week ago tonight, actually last Friday, interviewed a former president you know, and I want to just play some tape on what he had to say, because it goes to a lot of policy reforms that you also know about. Take a listen, please.
I finally found it. I've
Yeah,
been
my back's
searching
so
for the
fucked up,
perfect
man.
head shaver for over a decade now. The grooming.
They insulted Elon, and
Like that 18 wood shit, y'all. I'm talking about that 18 wood shit really fucked my back up. Like, I don't even really want to smoke. When I say my shit really be in pain, like, if y'all ever catch me, if you ever just catch me, I be having to, like, make sure I'm sitting straight because my shit really fucked up. I really be leaning to the side. Like, and these folks don't want to give me no money, bro. So the insurance company don't want to pay me because they said that I was still picking up dog food, I was still moving, I was messing around with the dogs and stuff on video. I'm trying to tell these folks, bro, this is my motherfucking job. I gotta go out there and feed these dogs. I gotta pick up the dog food. I gotta grab these dogs. You tell me you couldn't have been hurt if you're doing that. Man, I'm a man. I can be hurt and still do shit. I'm doing shit hurt. Nigga, just because I'm doing it, don't. With that insurance shit, y'all, that shit be fraud for real. They don't want to pay me for fucking up my car because they say I'm not hurt. They want me to just get some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy, y'all. Like, it's real deal crazy.
they're going to need him to restore.
Well, he was great. He came through. He does come through. He would be incredible on that commission, and we'll.
Well, that's the thing, and you not only cut spending. I think you can take a strong look at some of these agencies, and you know the ones I'm talking about. Yeah. I mentioned them a moment ago. That they really are not doing their job. They've become very political.
Well, the one thing we want to do is education. We want to move education back to the states.
Right.
We'll spend less than half. You have to see Washington. It seems like every building's Department of Education. For what?
All right, there you have it. He's going to start with education, kind of move down the line, Vivek. And I know that this is near and dear to your heart. So what do you make of it?
Yeah. Look, I think this is great because I don't think it's possible, Larry. Many conservatives in the past have wanted to go reform that bureaucracy, tinker around the edges, be incremental about it. I don't think that works. If you cut off one head of an eight-headed hydra, it grows right back. You have to go to the center of the beast and actually just dismantle it. So we're not in there to reform this bureaucracy. We want to get in there and actually shut it down. Shut down the Department of Education. Send that money back to the states and to the people. And not just the Department of Education, but I think countless other departments in the federal bureaucracy as well. I'm pretty convinced that you could take over half of the federal employees, remove them from the federal bureaucracy, and it would actually function more effectively rather than less. What Elon did at Twitter, I think, is what needs to be done across the entire federal bureaucracy. I'm very optimistic about the Government Efficiency Commission as well. And I think that a lot of the levers we're going to pull here, I think, go beyond just usual partisan talking points. This is about restoring self-governance, where the people we elect to run the government, for God's sake, are the ones who actually run the government again in this country, rather than that class of unelected bureaucrats, which has grown like a cancer in Washington, D.C.
You know, Vivek, listening to this brings music to my ears, too.
Crazy.
But I want to ask a couple things. First of all, are you including what I will call the national security agencies? You may not wish to abolish them, but you may want to redo them, reform them, re-something, certainly repopulate them. And then there's the economic regulatory agencies, the SEC, the FCC, the FTC, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I wouldn't want to brush over them. I think every single one of those areas, at the very least, needs a house cleaning. Now, whether you can get away with abolishing some of them, as you suggest, I might be all for that. But they all need house cleaning, and they all need better people running them, not left-wing ideologues.
So I want to talk about those regulatory agencies for a second, Larry, because one of the most remarkable things that's been happening is that those agencies, the ones you named, three-letter agencies, from the FTC to the SEC to a number of others, to the EPA, they have been consistently, not even by like a little bit, consistently losing in federal court. So they're wasting public resources to go after different actors in the private sector. You've got fishermen cases, you've got private sector actor cases, you've got coal miners, that when they go to court, they are losing. So that means the agencies tasked with supposedly enforcing the law actually have no regard for the law itself. These agencies have lost their legitimacy. They've lost their constitutional legitimacy. The Supreme Court and the federal courts repeatedly slapping them down, saying that you are not enforcing the rules as you're supposed to actually have read those rules as Congress initially enacted them. One of the biggest events that happened was this year, overturning of Chevron deference in the Loper case. That changes the game entirely. Because before that, there was this general doctrine that federal courts had to engage in deference, had to defer to the interpretation of these administrative three-letter agencies. That is no longer good law. The law now is that agencies no longer receive that deference from federal court. This changes the game completely, Larry. Add on to that West Virginia versus EPA from 2 years ago that said if it's a major policy question, you can't write it by regulation. It had to be done by Congress. That quite literally means that a majority, literally a majority of those federal regulations are likely unconstitutional under current Supreme Court doctrine. That is the basis for mass regulatory reform of a kind we have not seen in modern American history. And I do think our founding fathers will be proud when we go in there and actually implement it, both by thinning out the regulations and by thinning out the bureaucracy that in many cases distorts those regulations to serve as a wet blanket on our economy. You want to grow the economy, the number one way to do it is this regulatory reform. Take that wet blanket off. That's how we make America great again.
And I don't want us to forget, though.
Y'all, we got to take out the Department of Education. The Department of Education has to be dismantled. Has to be. It's time. Yeah, that's some of the keyboard, y'all. But yeah, it's time, dog. It's time. It's time. I want to do this. I want to knock some push-up real quick. Yeah, it's time, man. Press play.
Top of the economic three-letter agencies or whatever, you know, the national security establishment, both the structure, the institutions of it, and of course the embedded people who are running these things year in and year out. I think that's got to get a good look. I mean, if President Trump wins, I think he's got to really spend some elbow grease and some time looking at the whole national, in some ways, that national security grouping of institutions, you know, that thing is the same as it was when Harry Truman and James Forrester put up the Pentagon right after World War II. I mean, that's how far back these agencies go. The CIA is the same way. The FBI goes back even longer than that. But I'm just saying, let's not overlook those agencies either.
Absolutely. You're spot on about this, Larry. And this isn't particularly even a Democrat versus Republican point. This is a nonpartisan point. Taking a look at agencies that have lost their way, that in the name of national security have actually betrayed protecting American national security while creating civil liberty threats in the meantime. Virginia Military Institute, VMI, actually invited John Bolton and myself to have a debate. It was a respectful, at times heated, but respectful debate a couple of weeks ago. And I do think that there's room for generational perspectives of difference here, Larry. Where if you grew up in the era of the Berlin Wall falling, you might have great trust in the U.S. national security state. But if you look at the failures of the last 20 years, you know that it takes a fresh perspective to say that the methods of 1980 aren't exactly what's going to give us deliverance today. I put the U.S. Federal Reserve, that's not in the national security state, but the same thing. Last 20 years, completely lost its way as a new managerial class has taken over. Same thing that happened in the national security state. So the way you're going to do this, I don't think is just through incrementally bringing the chisel. I think you got to bring the chainsaw with respect to the bureaucracy itself. And you know what? If you're always going to take a risk, right, Larry? I can't tell you we know we're going to cut the exact right amount. But the risk is, are you not going to cut enough? Or are you going to take the risk even of cutting a little too much, but then finding out you did and having to rebuild that? That's the risk I'm willing to take. I think we're willing to take. And if we're going to save our country, that's what our founding fathers would say if they were here as well. Sometimes you got to start with a blank slate and build up rather than trying to just tinker around the edges, which is a mistake that I think Republicans have made.
Oh, Lord. Fucking nuts, y'all. Boy, no, we click. Then we click. You know what I'm saying? This ain't pressing up against, you know what I'm saying? I ain't pressing up against my body like, it's a nice size arm, man. See that strong back, man. And I'm in pain. You know what I'm saying? Understand that I'm doing this I'm in pain. I'm doing this shit in pain. I am in pain. It just don't matter. It don't matter that I'm in pain. Still gotta do this shit.
Mr. Shaw, can I just...
Get last minute snacks and groceries with H-E-B now exclusively with Favor. Try today and enjoy no fees on orders over $25.
My bad, fuck.
And if
My
it
bad
ain't
when
you,
you fucked up the rest of my life.
we gonna know. Yeah, we gonna know.
Senator Vance, in Pittsburgh on Thursday,
Listen,
former
man,
President
kill me.
Barack
That's
Obama
what- man,
admonished
kill me.
black men for being hesitant about voting for Kamala Harris. I was wondering if you could contrast your approach to hesitant voters and how you try to earn them over.
You know, first of all, I don't believe whether you agree with me or disagree with me, whether you agree with Donald Trump or disagree with him, I don't believe in hectoring voters. I believe in persuading voters. Support is not something I'm given or something I'm owed. It's something you got to go out there and work for. So one, I just don't like the tone of going in. I mean, look, the better question for Barack Obama or anybody to ask is not why black men, it's not how dare you not vote for Kamala Harris. It's maybe they're thinking about voting for Donald Trump because they're sick of being censored, they're sick of being told what to do, and they're sick of not being able to afford the American dream. Maybe that's why we're getting a lot more black voters than Republicans in the past. But you know, the last point I want to make is, you know, I got to say, and shocker, newsflash here, I've defended Kamala Harris once, I'm about to defend Barack Obama once. So set to the side the hectoring and the tone of Obama when he went in and talking about black voters, like whatever, obviously I just criticized that. You know what I was watching him talk, you know what I thought to myself is, agree or disagree, and obviously I disagreed with about 99% of what he did when he was in office. He had substance and Kamala Harris does not. Like, he actually had thoughts in his head, and what a contrast that is to Kamala Harris, who just repeats slogan after slogan after slogan. I got to be honest with you, I am offended, not as a person running to be your vice president, but as a fellow citizen. I am offended that a person who is so substanceless as Kamala Harris dares to think that she could be the president of the United States. It is a disgrace. I mean, what does she want to do about Israel and the Middle East? She'll give you a slogan. How does she want to lower the price of groceries? She'll give you a platitude. How is she going to make the lives of her fellow citizens better? She turns around and runs from the camera. A person like that has no business being near the Oval Office of this country. We cannot let it happen. And I'd ask you, I mean, to all of you out here, this is one of the things that's at stake. I mean, look, I imagine, at least I hope, that you guys aren't thinking about voting for Democrats in the future. But look, we cannot reward this kind of politics where they switched Joe Biden from the ballot 2 months ago without a single vote being cast. She runs from the basement. She does a few softball interviews, and we think that person is tested enough to be president of the United States. It is insulting to American voters, and we have to reject it on November the 5th by voting.
Anyways, I say that to say this, my hair-hatted hooligan friend, that it. Anyways, I say that to say this, my hair-hatted hooligan friend, that if you have a sew-in for 3 months, does that mean that you've not washed your hair in 3 months?
Yeah, my real hair, yes, that's what it means.
You washed the fake hair?
Yes.
This shit then got crazy.
This your game, Milk Dud. This your game, Milk Dud. I ain't tripping.
Then you said Milk Dud. I challenge you. You said Milk Dud. I like that. You said Milk Dud. You referred to
I mean, you call, that's cool.
Show me your bald head. I'm proud of mine. This is different between a man and a woman. This is what I actually look like. Show me your hair. Show me your hair.
No, I got braids in my hair. No, baby, I got braids in my hair. No, baby, I got braids. I got braids in my hair. No, I got braids in my head.
See, this is how they operate. This is the true inferiority. She has the nerve to try to insult my hairstyle. She called me Milk Dud. I said, fantastic, this is my real hair. Let me see your real hair. Let me see who you really are. And this is precisely why women can never lead, because they're not gonna step out in front and they're not gonna expose the truth of the matter. She don't wanna show her whole hair. In fact, she got that receding ass hairline, then got the nerve to put a wig over it, and then had the nerve to put a hat on top of the wig. You're wearing two hats.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect. Are you ready to be silent while I speak?
Go ahead.
I'm just asking you a simple question. Are you ready to be silent while I speak?
If someone's not talking when you're talking, that's the action, speaking.
See, you're showing that you're an unruly person. I asked you a simple question. If you would have asked me, Marquette, would you mind being silent while I speak? I would say, absolutely. That's the civil thing to do. You're not single by accident. You're single because you're unpleasant. And this is how we know you're crazy. I'm going to tell you how we know. Because if you're a good-looking woman and single at the same time, it's a clear indication of being crazy, because most males, not men, but males will accept anything as long as they can get a pretty face and a little bit of box. But you are truly unruly to the point where even guys who are tricks at nature, they won't even deal with you because you're too unpleasant.
Tell him to shut up one time.
No, on a serious note.
She's a queen.
Yeah, on a serious note, were you teasing me or you really washed the wig?
I really washed the bundles, yes.
That's crazy. And okay, and then you said it's human hair.
Yes.
Meaning like another human's hair.
Yeah, I really from so. Yeah. I don't know.
It could be human or it could come from a horse's tail.
I guess the only thing worse than wearing another person's hair is wearing hair from a horse's ass.
No.
I guess that's the only thing, because it's a different species. We didn't. Not only did we cross species, not only did we cross species, we didn't took it out his butt, right? And like, who wants to wear butt hair?
From the back too.
Right? Like that's butt hair. That's crazy.
That's what it is, I guess. But it's like it's clean, like it's washed.
You wear butt hair or you wear human hair?
I wear human hair.
Okay, so don't play with me.
Didn't you say your mama wore it?
Don't play with me, then. Don't play with me.
But
yeah, and it ain't cheap either.
And are you a Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
I like
Had to think about that. Okay, amazing.
No, but because that is so much stigma in that and stuff like that.
We're about to see why there's stigma. In that whole long Bible, give me one Bible verse.
Matthew 10:22. You shall be hated for preaching my word.
That's ironic you say that, because you haven't been preaching his word. You've been making up the word.
Can you please let me know when?
Well, earlier I asked you for some verses. You said, well, I know this is in there, but you couldn't tell me where it is. Mm-hmm. And here's the other thing. That verse in Matthew is referring to men, because the Bible specifically says that women should not be preachers or speakers of the word. And when they don't understand the word, they should ask a man. And when they're in the church house, they should sit in silent subjection to men.
Is that in the Bible?
Like, look, if I cheat on you, you gonna stay with me? Exactly. Use a fall down broad. You heard me? Like, yeah, like my mom gonna stay with me regardless. So why would you even compare yourself to that? You know what I'm saying? Like cheating. You leaving because of cheating. Do you know how much is cheat? Do you know how much Latinos cheat? And you leaving because of cheating? That's like you leaving because I'm breathing. Are you serious? That's so basic.
Well,
like, how are you gonna be trill and traditional woman? You're leaving because of cheating.
I ain't left nobody yet because they cheated until like this very last
But what does cheating have to do with you? You can't mind your own business. I'm cheating. You're not cheating. I'm cheating. What's that got to do with? I'm cheating.
I don't want somebody who's for everybody.
I'm not for everybody.
Yes, you're washed up.
No, I'm cheating. Listen. First off, why are you getting involved in my affairs instead of trying to figure out what's going on with you? I'm cheating. That's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So why are you trying to get involved in me cheating? Exactly. Just let it go. Just let it go. When you say something suggesting that the male is such a primitive sexual being that, as you put it, can't get his mind beyond sex, well, then that would make me question how you're speaking into a microphone, an electronic device, a significant piece of technology that was created by a man. And the architecture that created the building that you're in, probably an apartment, was also created by a man. Most everything that you observe was created by a man. And let me further expose you, because you're a person who actually takes all of your thinking from a man. For example, on your own Instagram, you only have 2 books referenced. They're both written by men, because you come to the man seeking our superior knowledge. Furthermore, even the book that you have in your hand, which you wrote, you modeled the title of that book after a man's book, Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. You're modeling everything you do after the man. And let me explain to you true inferiority. True inferiority is when you think so little of yourself that you don't want to be what you actually are. Your great effort is to emulate the man. Everything about you is majoring. You're basically trying to behave like a guy. You're wearing a baseball cap. Are you about to have a baseball game? No, you're not. Listen to your voice. Sounds like a masculine voice. Listen to how people describe you. They describe you as a male. And look at your book title. You basically bootlegged it from a man's book. And listen to the books that you reference on your Instagram. Pimp, well, that's a story from a man. And here's the thing. You want to co-opt all the ideas and say that women can be pimps too. No, the man is the pimp. You're the hoe.
I'm Jade. Jade Lynn is my full name. But
that's your government name.
Mm-hmm.
Jade Lynn.
Yeah, but I go by Jade because it's easy.
Okay.
I am 30.
Damn! Damn!
But,
give me my close-up camera. Damn! Okay, go back.
And then I am a domey girl, which means...
Wait, you be giving dome? Now, if you see someone wearing a police uniform, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would assume that they're probably a police officer.
Yeah.
Ah, why would you assume that?
Because of the uniform.
Don't judge people by their uniform or their outfit. If you saw someone wearing a fireman's outfit, you probably assume that they are a firefighter. Don't judge anyone by their outfit or their uniform. It doesn't make sense. So, take that super chat off so that you can see this outfit.
You know what? Look at my outfit, guys. Oh.
So, if you're wearing a firefighter's outfit, you're probably a firefighter, right? Mm-hmm. If you're wearing a police officer's outfit, you're probably a police officer. If you're wearing a hoe's outfit, you're probably a hoe. Oh, y'all wasn't gonna say that part with me. I gotta say that by myself. And the young lady, Yum GM, writes #polysyllabic. So she's digging the vocabulary. If you ever hear a word you do not know, you should absolutely...
Polysyllabic, by the way.
You should absolutely write it down and look it up. And you'll notice that she was very quick to try to correct me. Now, here's the funny thing.
Oh, no, I'm patronizing you. No, I'm patronizing you.
If you know anything about... One second.
You have to take it. We're having fun.
Absolutely. And one second. She was very quick to correct me. But if you know anything about the English language, it's a language of deep orthography. And orthography indicates that a language that is devoid of accent marks, you can pronounce certain words in different ways. Which is why, again, she shows her arrogance when she's speaking to someone who is actually educationally, experientially, and professionally and economically superior, yet she's still arrogant. That lets you know she's an unruly woman who is unwilling to be led. That's why she uses the term partner, because she thinks the male and the female are 50-50, even though as the leader of herself, she's led herself to destruction.
Men, who hurt you? Who gave you this version that
I'm glad you asked that. I'll answer your question.
I'm not gonna lie. This nigga Marquette Burton, the nigga, I'm so calling him nigga. The man, the nigga, fuck all that. That fucking that, so. I'm in Houston, Texas, y'all. I stay in the gallery and my apartment is not bad. Well, it's $2,000 a month, so I guess it is pretty cheap. But there's next. You know, when my lease is up, I'm gone. I'm finna leave anyway. I'll barely be here. But when my lease is up, I will no longer be at this apartment. Right now I'm in my office. Yeah, 2 bedroom, 2 baths. Anyway, this nigga Marquette, man, the nigga know how to speak. The boy is well versed in conversation, in history, in a lot of things. Like, that's why, listen, I always tell y'all, man, please read. And I'm just grabbing as many as I can grab one hand, but I got a bunch of. Please read, y'all. It's a good ass book. Art of War. How to win friends and influence people. You need to know how to influence people. Power versus Force. These are great books now. I'm trying to put you on. Unreasonable Hospitality. These books could literally change your life. If you read these, if you really read them out and understand them, your life will change. Not gonna lie. It's a good story.
And to say who hurt you, well, I think in the course of human life, everyone experiences challenges, pains, things like that. Women, when they can't, they can't match back wits, logic, reason, then they revert to a number of phrases that they heard other people say. Who hurt you? You're really talking about your mom. And they say things like this, but it's not sensible. So, for example, who hurt me? Well, I'm sure everyone's experienced hurt, heartache, heartbreak, things like that. But the difference between a man experiencing those pains and a woman experiencing those pains is that when a man goes through those experiences, he becomes experienced and wise. When a woman goes through those things, she becomes scarred and traumatized. So as a mature, reasonable man, I just have experience and I can use that to navigate the world. So that's what I'm saying. Mate selection is terrible. And you guys are over like, no, I don't want a man who cheats. Like, you better go get you a good man that know how to cheat, right? Don't get a man who's a cheater. Get a man who's a great cheater. Okay?
And you a woman?
And what?
And you a woman? That's a good cheater?
There's no such thing as a woman who's a cheater. There's a woman who's a slore. Yeah, that's what that is. That's disgusting. Isn't that nasty?
Yeah.
That's nasty. Isn't that nasty? Is that nasty?
No, it is.
Then why are you playing games over here? Why are you playing games over here?
You know what? I'm sure the audience wanted to know.
Uh-huh.
So I asked the question.
Oh, you thought the audience wanted to know if I'll deal with a woman that be getting her back blew out by multiple guys?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I don't even like guys breathing on my women.
No, that is a blockage to this world. People don't understand, bro.
Peace to the saints is not a recommendation, it's an order. When we say peace to the saints and you say peace to the saints, everyone stops talking.
Okay.
The amazing thing is the woman is supposed to be the follower. If I have a room full of men and they're talking and I say peace to the saints, they stop talking. I have a room full of women, they keep babbling. How many of you are stronger than me? None of you. In that room full of men, some of them may be stronger than me, but they still stop talking. It's called respect. Why we would even have to escalate to this level is not necessary. When she speaks of her father, that's called authority. She said, I didn't do X, Y, and Z because of my father. I asked you, I said, if your father was there and he was like me, would he do it? You didn't even answer the actual question. You said, well, my dad. I was talking about me. The listening skills are consistently not there. Here's the irony. The female's supposed to be better at listening than the male. Men are turned in on themselves. You're supposed to have a baby and care about the baby more than anyone. Men run off on the baby. You always stay there. How can you not listen? And this isn't for me to talk, it's for you to hear each other. We got time. So when we say peace to the saints, you respond peace to the saints and stop talking. Now let me give you that Bible verse. And the reason I like to lift these up so that you can see that it's real. It's not made up. This is from the actual Bible.
Yeah.
In the Bible, it states as follows, quote, I do not permit a woman, a what? A woman to teach or to have authority over a man. She must be silent. Must be what? Silent. Something for sure that Rachel has picked up really well. Shout out to Rachel, might be a woman of God. Huh? And we can go on. But the fact of the matter is there are various verses, and we could even go into Corinthians. But there are various verses that teach us that
You are not the teacher. You are not the leader. You are the student. You should learn in silence. And part of the problem is that your understanding is not there. You think you understand, but you don't. And in your misunderstanding, you spread poison. Y'all be thinking y'all geniuses. You think you know more than Google, but it's not the case. Yeah, take that.
Oh, as if independent women are trash. Do you have a problem with independent women, Mr. Senator?
Cooking.
First off, so you just asked me a question. So number one thing I've not done is have I insulted you so far?
No, I haven't insulted you either.
Okay. So just in case you didn't know, and I think you do know, I think you've watched a good amount of my content. The moniker is the Saint and the Sinner, and for short, people call me the Saint. You could also call me Marquette Burton. Passive aggressive is not something that I respect because I'm a masculine man. I'm aggressive, which is to say, if you want to come for me, be aggressive, be straightforward, and I will crush you. You see?
Okay, so we gonna have are we gonna have a legitimate conversation, or we?
It's called. If you look at the YouTube, it's called the Saint. Listen. Marquette, I'm not saying you're gonna watch my video and all that, bro. I give it to you, bro. You've done the work to educate yourself. Even if you don't practice it. I don't give a damn if you practice it or not, but you did the work to know.
Back and forth with this kid stuff.
You're carrying on with the interruptions. You'll notice when you're speaking, I'm not interrupting you, I'm listening to you. And this is why you have to learn from me. The male is the natural leader. You're behaving as a child does, which is a pity that you would even have a child while behaving like a child. Wow. You know the funny thing too about females like you?
What?
See, the thing is, on the front end, you be bucking up and acting wild.
Yeah.
It's just like when you meet a thoroughbred, a horse that could potentially be a thoroughbred, but it's wild and you have to break it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying.
But there's also a sadness to having to break something. The sadness is that you don't, like, to break something, you have to hurt it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And you're the kind of female that makes a man apply a certain kind of pressure and power towards you that is actually not healthy. You see, because when you tell me I gotta outman you, the fact of the matter is, as far as being a man, you ain't no match for me.
Of course.
And so you said, of course. Then why would I need to prove that to you?
The whole show has started off petty, right? Because this ain't no educational nothing.
When you started, I already had to stop you from interrupting several times, which is a representation of your character. Furthermore, you somehow arrogantly wanted to speak of your education. You mentioned that you're doing molecular cell biology, which I think you think is impressive to me, which it is not, and I'll explain.
It's not about impressive. It's not about impressive. It's about being on logic and reality. Okay.
It's been
logic and reality.
I'll tell you why it's irrelevant, because you try to make yourself sound like you're impressive because you're taking a degree in molecular cell biology, but you're 37 years old and you're just now finishing the degree, which is a representation of your inability to be focused and diligent and to complete things. So know that you said that there are families being led by single mothers. Those families are not being led. Those families are being crashed. There's a big difference between leading a ship and crashing a goddamn ship.
We have no choice. We have no choice.
You do, and let me tell you what the choice was. I'm going to tell you what the choice was, my dear. I'm going to tell you how to be accountable. When you become a single mother, that is the direct result of you opening your legs too damn quickly. Women who open women are
cuckolded and men are not, right? Men are free to do what they want to do, right?
Would you be kind enough to define cuckolded? What do you mean by that?
You're typecasting me. You're putting me in a box, and you're basically saying that it's my fault.
Are you a single mother?
I am.
Well, actually, I don't even like to use the term single mother. I like to use the term lonely mother. Are you a lonely mother?
Listen, first of all, you're not about to use degrading or...
And I don't want to degrade you individually. I'll explain why I use that term.
No, I don't really care why you use it. But
I'm going to explain.
The very fact that you're using it, it tells me your frame of mind.
But you don't know why I'm using it. You have no idea why.
It doesn't matter why you're using it.
How can we exchange knowledge if you're too angry to hear it out?
Why are you assigning the word lonely?
Because that's the reality. Let me explain why. Like, think about it. This is how we know you're not suited for leadership. This is how we know. Look at the way you're behaving right now. Mere words have taken you all the way out of your position. There's nothing you could say in your whole life that would move me to anger and emotionalism, because untamed emotion is the enemy of performance. So you will never think clearly while being that angry. Good Lord. So, gentlemen watching, I want you guys to know that there's some women that no matter what you tell them, what you teach them, how patient you are, they will always be unruly, disrespectful, you'll never get along with them. These are the very worst women to get pregnant because there will never be anything good. They will always have an excuse, a story, an issue. And the worst ones, you can tell them from a mile away, they love attention, they crave for attention because no one else is as important as them, including you.
Right. What's all the phone, dude?
Firestone. For those who answer the call of the vagabond.
Ain't no more time, man. That boy be cooking, no cap. I used to like watching the dude named No Fugazi podcast, but he too emotional. You know, I don't like that.
Ramsey writes, ladies, say your man gets a text from a woman you don't know. Do any of y'all think you have the right to go through his phone, though?
I don't want to.
I respect that.
I'm not even trying to. I ain't trying to cry today. I don't even want these problems.
How she say that like it makes sense?
Yeah, if I'm open. If a text, if I'm like, hey babe, bring my phone. Who is it? Who was it? That's fine. I'm gonna be in his phone.
You don't know how to mind your own damn business, huh?
I can mind my business if it needs to be mine.
I be praying.
No,
it does.
It
does need to be mined. I be praying.
But why are you trying to be so secretive with that text
Let me give you a little bit of game, Shorty.
That's my thing.
For one, some piece of information you don't want to know. For example, when you come across a certain piece of information, if you don't bring that to the authorities, you then become an accessory to a crime. So sometimes it's better for you to sit down and shut up and mind your own business. Because you're being protected from some things.
No, it's not a crime. It's not a crime. You're talking about a text message from a woman that I don't know. Not a crime.
That one might have been a text message from a woman you didn't know, but because you're a nosy person and you saw that, now you turn into the police and you go on 5-0.
No, I didn't say 5-0. I didn't say, okay, no, it's not 5-0. Okay,
this right here is dangerous.
No.
This right here, that's dangerous.
No. No, because if I don't know who it is, who is it?
But don't you have faith?
Yes, I do have faith.
No, you don't.
Yes,
you don't
I
even
do.
know what faith is. Faith is believing without seeing. That's the actual definition.
But I saw it.
But you need to see it.
Is that? But I saw it. But I saw it.
No, what you saw was that it was a text message from a number you don't know, but you don't.
Okay, but I'm not assuming. You're inferring that I'm assuming something of that the text said something.
Well, you're assuming it has something to do with you. It ain't got nothing to do with
it. It doesn't have to do
anything
with me. But the question is it okay for me to look through his phone? Yes, it is okay for me to look through my man's phone.
Bad shit, crazy, right?
No, it's not. It's not. I don't have the urge to want to look through his phone, but I should have the access. I know if I know his password. I'm gonna.
If I walk by your phone and I saw you receive a dick pic, and I looked down, just happened to see you received a dick pic, I wouldn't say a word about it, because it's not my phone, it's not my business, and I'm gonna trust you until you show me that you're doing the wrong thing. What I'm not going to assume is that you're screwing up, because I don't want to look at you that way. But if you show me it is what it is, but I'm not going to go searching for that which I don't want. That lets you know the nature of a human being. They say finding is for the seekers. That's biblical again, baby, for you. Finding is for the seekers.
But I'm not even inferring that the man is cheating with this person that texted. I'm not even inferring any of that.
Then why would you even be interested in that which has nothing to do with you? If they want to text you, they would text your phone.
I guess.
So why are you seeking something you don't
why
want?
not? Why I'm not
I just
seeking
told
it.
you
If
why
I see
not.
it, if my boyfriend's phone was right here,
You be all up in
he
the
over
phone,
here,
buddy.
whatever. I'm minding
Yeah.
my business and I see it. Oh, okay. Who's that? I see it. Okay,
Why is that a question though?
why not? Why can't it be a question?
Well, you
She
said
just
why
explained
not,
that
right?
she
Which is
still
basically
missed it.
saying we should question everything. Like, why is the ceiling not?
Yes,
falling
we
right
should
now?
question everything. We should question everything.
That is the mentality of an idler, meaning a person who has an infinite amount of time and doesn't use their time for anything meaningful. What I find when you have goals in life, you try to allocate all your time to a goal. And if your goal, for example, is to be with a man in marriage and have a long-lasting relationship, you ask yourself, okay, this text message from a woman, and I don't know who it is this more likely to hurt my relationship or to help my relationship? Probably more likely to hurt it. But let's say, regardless, even if it's nothing, me asking him about this, showing I have no faith in him, is that more likely to make him happier or displeased and disappointed? That's how you got to be thinking. Like, you're thinking in the lowest feminine characteristics, which is suspicion, fear.
There's no fear though. I never said I
There's no fear.
insisted. I've never said I thought he was cheating or
Then why do you
whatever.
need to know?
Why not? Why not? Because if somebody
You're
texted,
literally asking me a question I just answered.
No, but why? But like, why not? If my man sees, if he
he
sees
just
a dick pic now,
explained
that would be
to
my
her.
motherfucking neck. Not no motherfucking.
Let me ask this. Let's say you go through his phone. Let's say you go through his phone and you see something you didn't want to see. How are you reacting?
I would ask questions first instead of assuming. I would ask.
Let's say you've seen like a bunch of girls talking to him, chatting with him.
I see that all the time, actually. Like, I explain that. Like, that's what my boy, he does. He collabs with different women, so he has conversations.
I thought he's selling chicken wings. Are
Yeah.
these big girls?
I mean,
No
the best way I can explain it is this guy actually showed you his TikTok. That's
They
the best
thick,
way.
huh?
Yeah. They thick, shaking ass.
Thick chickeny.
Right.
If he's not utilizing them, tell him to send them my way.
Like big.
Big
Thicker than a snake. Okay, what we got?
For real.
Ken writes, what is the biggest sacrifice, oh, he wasn't done with her, that you can make for your boyfriend or future husband? I like this question.
I
want to start this question. Huh?
I already got the answer for that one.
You already got, oh, she's smiling too. I'll be suspicious of Shorty right
What's it
here.
gonna be? You gonna say building an empire?
Yeah, it would. I would give up. No. You're crazy. No. I would give up. I would give up my business. I would give up my business, my career to help build up my man's career.
How did I know?
Yes, it would be to build. It would be to build it. It would build his legacy for us to carry down to our kids' name. I would give up what I was envisioning or whatever for him.
You know what? I respect that. I appreciate that. I respect that a lot. I will say these mics are no less than $450 when you factor in the stand. They're about at least $500. Let's just throw that out there.
You got it.
He is truly outraged. I do want to say he is truly outraged. That is not an act. What about TT? Did you grease them motherfuckers up when I walked away?
No.
Damn, they didn't just start.
That's some good lip gloss. I need that because mine is gone now.
They sparkle on. Go ahead, baby. Shine on. Talk to me. She read the question. I didn't even like the question. Good Lord. She like, not a damn thing.
No, I would.
I'm an independent woman. I'm raising 2 kids right now. Fuck it, nigga.
I don't.
You ain't paying my bills. You ain't shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know what I was saying. It depends on what.
Building an empire is not making a sacrifice. Let me first say that, okay? That is not. No, you have to make sacrifice to do that, period. So we're talking about specific things. Let me give you some specifics. For me to build the company I had, number one, I had to sacrifice a lot of time, energy, effort, money, and also had to sacrifice a lot of my ego, because when I was building it, I'm scrubbing toilets of where other people was taking craps. I'm scrubbing the toilets. But I'm the one making all the money, but I'm the one scrubbing the toilets. On top of that, when it comes to like taxes and when things have to be charged, the IRS is hitting me with the bill. It's in my name. It's in my company's name. Who has to pay them all? Me. So in terms of the sacrifice, I'm like, what sacrifice are you making? You're helping me build an empire or not?
So you're saying that's really easy to do, to say, oh, you're about to make $1 million, let me help you with that. That's not really like that's not taking like an L or anything.
You're not taking an L. And I have to sit there and tell everyone who works for me, like I have to check them every day and say,
every day, goddamn. Okay, go ahead.
Every day sometimes. I'm like, yo, like realistically, you're not paying the cost to be the boss. Realistically.
They walk in and you just look them in their eye and tell them that every day.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when I ask you stuff to do, that is the sacrifice you're making. When I verbally ask you some stuff, or when you're doing stuff that above and beyond, like we talked about yesterday, the 110%, like doing the stuff I don't ask you to do. Yeah, you're making a sacrifice. I didn't ask you to do that. And you're contributing towards things that I care about at this point.
Ooh.
So at that point...
No, not things that they care about, things that you care about. Oh, that's fascinating. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, building an empire, you ain't really doing nothing. Right. Like, especially, how you build an empire? If you ain't really got the empire yet, you ain't really doing nothing yet.
You know what's interesting, too, is that so many people are just, like, super focused on what they want. Like, they got to be the one, like... And it's a lot of women too. It's strange because you
hit
know,
that like button, man.
Women used to be like the supporter.
Y'all watching me?
And if you were
clearly you entertained or you was hanging out, whatever the case may be, you gonna come here and hang out with me. Hit the like button, man.
And from like
you get an insight on,
right? Like
on what I'm doing on the Saturday evening.
But Eve was a creation.
Supposed to be doing something else, but
Eve came from Adam.
My business
and
partner
Adam
is
came
not.
onto earth with the purpose of serving God. Serving God.
You gotta make some switches, man. This year is very important. For a lot of things that I got going on with my life and how I'm doing things,
because I'm an owner.
this year was very important.
Like that everywhere. Yeah, it all
very important.
Adam. So it's crazy how nowadays you talk with women and it's like they're like, oh no, I don't need this
Next
guy.
year when I get back into breeding,
it's all about me.
You're gonna see people
that
you
kind
need
of
to
just like
see.
kills me off.
Everybody's gonna have a very specific task
I would never say
that they will need to do.
Envision myself in 10 years with no woman.
Where they would not
That's
be around
crazy.
at all.
Outrageous.
Nobody.
That's crazy. Like I'm gonna need at least one.
Nobody.
Minimum. You feel me?
Wife.
And women are so lovely, you know. I mean,
Brother
they'll be,
Nick.
2, 3, 4, 5 of them. You did. That's when you know they valuable. Don't you want to accumulate things of value? Would you rather have more money or less money? Talk to me. There you go, baby. Hey.
So I'm like, look, I'm saying this, right? This guy's saying, he literally said for your future husband. So building an empire, you're not sacrificing anything. So
she said she would sacrifice her empire. Mine. I already have mine. His, I already have
you're not building mine.
I already have a business. I already have
Let him know,
things
queen.
set up. My business
Yes,
already
queen.
set. I'm helping him build his.
Period.
I would help him get his LLC.
Period.
Help him get his food, whatever it is.
Wow.
I already got mine. I already
Go
got
off.
my salon. I
Go
have my
off.
place. Like,
I got you.
That's it. I'll be giving up a lot.
Sometimes I feel like when I be hearing my mom sometimes when be speaking, I'm like, my mom be speaking sometimes like this a little bit every now and then. She be like, I sacrifice this and that. I'm like, all right, mom, whatever.
Right.
Like, you know, but your son's a millionaire though. Like, realistically, and I'm really making the sacrifices for the family at this point. Flip the script when it comes around to it. I know, yeah, right. My mom know I love you.
Yeah.
She did. Mama's a gangster.
She sent it through a super chat.
But like you laying down your empire is it really a sacrifice? Because you're really making an investment, and when I make an investment, I'm not making a sacrifice.
I mean, it is a sacrifice because when you guys go back to making sacrifices for your man in a relationship, and you guys talking about walking in faith and all that, with being behind your man, that's basically what it is. Because I can sit up here and be, I'm this Mr. Independent boss. I can be by myself. I can raise my own kids by myself. I'm not having kids though, but I mean, I could I can have my own thing. I don't need no man. I could be on that. I could.
I'm with you,
Queen. I could, but I'm willing to set my pride aside and step down real quick because I would love to step into my full feminine energy and be submissive to my man and let him take care of me and be whatever. I would like to sit pretty and.
So you saying? Wait, hold on. So you saying? Let me say this. So you saying like, yeah, I'll put down everything so I don't have to pick up a finger and work again for another person or for myself.
I mean, no, I wouldn't say I wouldn't be working because one, I would be raising his kids. I will be taking care of our home.
I know. That's the specific question I asked. I said for yourself or for other people. Just for them.
It would still be for ourselves. It would be for our family,
our
future, the legacy, the empire. It would be for that.
Fair enough.
It would be for that.
Yes, Queen. Yes.
All right. Who's making sacrifices for your future husband? Come on, TT. Lucy, you good?
I said I would make sacrifices.
What sacrifices? Here we go.
I don't believe
Can I get some
it.
Jeopardy music?
I don't believe it.
I mean, if he needs something, then I'm there to
She
help
said
him.
if he needs something.
I don't know what you exactly want me to say.
You're close.
What is the correct answer?
No, fair enough.
Close to the mic.
She
now look.
refused.
I'm not confused. I'm
No, I
saying
said
like
refuse. Are you refused? We actually get closer to the mic 30 times. You're like,
She beat you.
my back hurts.
no comprende.
Chair.
No
You got over
comprende,
here. I don't
amigo.
like this chair. My back hurts.
You know what? We gonna get some more chairs.
What age are you?
21.
You 21? Girl.
That back that got blown out too many times. 7. What you say now?
Let's calm down. Let's just calm down.
Sacrifices. Let's go.
Whew. So I feel like a sacrifice I would make for my future boyfriend or my future husband would probably have to be my pride. That's probably the biggest sacrifice I could honestly make because I hold my pride top tier. So if I'm able to sacrifice that for you, I can sacrifice anything for you.
Fascinating.
Your turn.
Hey, get her a Red Bull.
Oh my gosh, do you? Why do you think I am just so
He's really
tired? They're actually in the box on the counter. But, I feel like if you have a husband or something, you're supposed to sacrifice everything, literally, because.
Spread that ism. Spread that ism.
Well, you are, because at that point, you guys are supposed to be one together, and if you can't do that, then why are you trying to bond with this person if you don't if you can't do that? So that's what I say.
Indeed. Look, you
thought I was asleep.
you actually are sleeping. We still trying to wake you up, but you're making progress though.
You're still in the dream world.
Learning,
Indeed.
you know.
Indeed. And what I actually like about it is the paradox is that if you become one with a man, anything you sacrifice, you're actually sacrificing for yourself, for your own betterment. And anything that is earned between the two of you betters you.
Yeah.
And I think the fear is that a lot of women are not looking at what could come out of it, but they're looking at like how it could go wrong. Not realizing that just with like becoming wealthy, I've created a lot of products that haven't been successful, but I've created just a couple that have been. And that's all you need to become wealthy. Just like with a relationship, you might have had several relationships that were unsuccessful. In her case, like maybe 30, 40 that, you know, different guys you've been sleeping with that it didn't go nowhere. But
She went, who you talking about?
No, that's what you thought. That's what you thought. But
Oh my God.
point is, you only marry one man. And when you pick that one man, like you ride it out with full faith that it's gonna go right, and you make every effort. You can't be half-assed and stuff. So I like that answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, we waking up the dead out here, boy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed.
It was good. Gotta sacrifice everything. Literally. I ain't married yet. And one day I do plan to be married. But when I do choose, I ain't saying I didn't choose, but when I decide to get married, she gonna have to sacrifice everything. But I'm gonna lead her properly though. She gonna want to. That's what it's about. It ain't gotta be nothing forced. No, ain't that. It's just.
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website you need. With full business functionality and a design tailored just for you. Customize every element of your web.
Hello, folks, and welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. We spent an hour with former President Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago earlier today. He was in very good spirits. Right after our interview, he was off to Georgia to again help raise private assistance in the aftermath of the destruction and loss of life from Hurricane Helene. Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia was going to be with Mr. Trump in Augusta. And tomorrow, He is returning to Butler, Pennsylvania, at the scene of the attempted assassination back on July 13th. He and I had a very good long sit down this morning, and we're going to play all of it for you. The first segment coming right up was about the jobs report, tariffs, and of course, drill baby drill. Let's get right to it and take a listen, please. Roll tape. Mr. President, welcome back to the Kudlow Show. We appreciate it very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Larry.
I want to begin. Today's jobs numbers come out, and the top line was very solid jobs report. Americans are working. But, you know, you look under the hood, it's the same stuff. I just want to read a couple things. Full-time jobs down almost 500,000. Part-time jobs up 800,000. Manufacturing jobs down again. 825,000 native-born jobs lost. 1.2 million foreign-born jobs gained. These are uncomfortable statistics. There's something wrong. There's something unbalanced about all these numbers where the country's going.
Well, especially so since, as you see, and I guess you probably read one of the numbers where the illegal migrants that are coming into the country are getting the jobs. They're getting most of the jobs. And the citizens aren't getting the jobs. And the other thing that you don't know what to believe anymore, because 818,000 jobs 2 months ago was a fraud. They put in 818,000 extra jobs, and it got wiped out. They said they made a mistake. That wasn't a mistake. That was done on purpose. And it was supposed to come out, that number, the wipeout, was supposed to be after the election. But you had a whistleblower that came out and announced that they defrauded the country. So you say, like, how does that happen? I've never heard of the thing. I've heard of they're off by 10,000, 15,000. They're off by 818,000 jobs. So when is that going to come out?
Yeah, well, it's probably be revised down. I mean, it's hard to know. We've never seen anything like it, as you point out.
We've never seen numbers like this the last 7 months.
Manufacturing jobs continue to decline, and the manufacturing ISM purchasing managers continues to decline. We haven't had any manufacturing jobs in 2 years. We're in a manufacturing slump, probably a manufacturing recession. Is this attributable, do you think, to Biden-Harris policies?
Yes. It's attributable to the fact that other countries are ripping us off, including Mexico and a lot of them, China always, but Mexico's really doing a big number on us. We have companies moving down to Mexico. They're making product. They're selling it in. And nobody's talking to them. Nobody's speaking about it. Nobody's putting tariffs on them. If you put tariffs on those companies, you wouldn't have them leaving our country. They're leaving us, going to Mexico, right across the border, building a plant and selling things back into our country. And you can't let them do that. That's what tariffs are for. You put tariffs on, they won't be doing that. And it's like not complicated. It's really simple.
So your plan, we're going to get to the tax hikes for Kamala Harris, but your plan, you offer 15%, 21 to 15% business tax rate, which would be the lowest I think we've ever had in this country, and make us among the probably the lowest, or maybe the second lowest around the entire world. That's how competitive we'd be. But you got to produce it here. You've got to produce it here. Now, I think that would go a long way towards solving some of these various problems about foreign-born versus native-born manufacturing jobs and things of that sort. Tell me more about that vision. Tell me more what goes along with that.
So first of all, I brought it from 39 down to 21. It was 39, which was way too high and not competitive, and we were doing very badly. I brought it down to 21.
They don't want to pay us,
and interestingly, just
they
before I
all
get
the
to the
billionaires,
15,
they want to,
at 21, we did much more
import
business the
everything, bro,
following
and
year.
then charge the American citizens
more
for it.
revenue with 21 than we did because
it's so crazy, bro. The billionaires, listen, that's over here, send all the manufacturing jobs overseas, build plants overseas, get shit imported. They go, the millions of billionaires, they pay those for directly. Then they come back over here and sell it to us. So we just giving the money back to the millions, the billionaires, just giving the money back to them. All our money is going to them. In the government type shit. Taxes. prices and everything. Tax going to the government that's got them, they can make $1 billion a day. It's over $1 billion people here. You charge them $2 or $1 for everything they buy. That's $1 billion. You make over $1 billion a day. America makes billions and billions of dollars a day. So it's always gonna be money for the government. They always gonna be up. But and the government been letting these folks send the jobs overseas, y'all. They letting it do, and then they tax. It's like, here you go, billionaires, take billions of dollars, go put the jobs overseas. The jobs overseas, then they gonna sell it back to the Americans, and then on top of, it's like this, bro. It's so crazy, y'all. When you know this shit down in simplest terms, bro. I'm telling you, it's so crazy. It's like me having a 3.5. And I sell it to you for $25. But you gotta pay an extra $3 on top of this 3.5. So the $3 gonna go to the government, I'm gonna get my 25, boom. That's how it all is, bro. The millionaires, the billionaires selling us products, selling us shit, and the government just getting $2 or $3 off of everything, 10% or 20% off everything. It's kicking our ass, beating us down. It don't have to be like that. Like our country don't have to be like that. It don't have to be like that at all. We all could be living in affordable times. Like all this shit's supposed to be affordable. Everything like t-shirts and all that shit's supposed to be $1. You know what I'm saying? But they selling it us for $5, $6. All our food, everything, y'all. I'm talking everything. These shorts right here, they charge me $10, $20 for it. But these shorts $3. You know what I'm saying? These shorts cost me $3 to make. You know what I'm saying? But they charge me $30 for it. And then the government gonna take about $6, and then the company gonna take about the other $24. You know what I'm saying? The government gonna take 6, the billionaires gonna take 24. That's how this shit work, y'all. It don't gotta be like that. We could be making this shit right here, and then charging us $10 for it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna make as much money as you're making, but once you're a millionaire, bro, what else do you need to buy? Like once you're making millions of dollars a year, what else is there to buy? There's nothing else to buy, bro. Every millionaire you know, they bought this, bro, it ain't the shit. You don't need to make that money. You know, I could have got that one if I had one. You don't. Once you make $1 million a year, bro, you don't need to make more money than that. There should be no billionaires. It makes no sense. It makes no sense for somebody to have billions of dollars in assets. For what? You can't do nothing with all that. Our country could be elevated. Like our tech could be elevated. Like we could all be around this bitch. The roads can be amazing. The buildings could be spectacular. The apartments, there would be no homeless people. We wouldn't have drug problems. We could do so much as a nation, bro. Once we demolish the democracy, once the educational system and all that shit get dismantled, our country can start excelling. Because we not excelling, bro. Even the educational system, the Department of Education needs to be destroyed completely. It needs to be redone. Like the shit they teaching our kids and all that shit is pointless. They bullshit and they playing. Teaching us the wrong history and shit. They ain't teaching us shit that's progressive. Like they playing. The school system is a joke. So everything needs to be dismantled. Like, and billionaires, millionaires, their jobs, their companies gotta be over here. Fuck China shit, man. Fuck all that Philippines. Fuck all that. Stop doing that shit lame. I'm talking about even Nike, all this shit be lame, bro. Like, it's so lame. Buying shit, spending all my money on shit, and I'm seeing it was made overseas. Like, bro, that shit lame. It ain't American, dog. That ain't how it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be like that, dog. There should be nobody over here, bro, with hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, bro. For what, bro? For what? The house, millions of dollars, 10, 20 million, all right, cool. You can pay it off in what? 25 years, 30 years, you making millions of dollars a year. You don't need billions of dollars, bro. It's pointless to have that much money, bro. It's pointless. There's nothing you can't experience with being a millionaire. There's nothing you can't experience. There's no car you can't own. There's no house you can't have. You don't need to have that much money, bro. You don't need to have, there's no need for it, bro. There should be no billionaires, dog. Literally. Greed is a sin, dog. It makes no sense. We got billionaires in this country. And then what's so fucked up, y'all, another thing that's fucked up, because I be rambling, I know. Another thing that's fucked up, man, you got all these millionaires and billionaires over here, bro, buying all the luxury cars coming from overseas, bro. Have y'all noticed that? The luxury cars, the luxury clothes, all that shit from overseas, that don't make no sense, bro. They don't fuck with y'all? That everything that's luxury is coming from overseas? Like, they don't fuck with you being an American, like everything getting imported, like. That don't bother y'all? That bothers me. I'm an American. I don't like that shit. My favorite car is Chevy. Chevy Dodge. Shit, nigga, get your shit together, bro. Chevy Dodge, man, they need to let us do our shit. Build the cars. The Chevy's supposed to be the best car in the world. How's the Mercedes-Benz and all this shit better than our Chevys? But we sending billions and billions of dollars to all these other countries, bro. Think about it. America makes billions and billions of dollars every single day. Every day. Why do we not have the best cars? Think about it. Why the best cars ain't built over here with most of what's all these rich ass people? If it's so many rich ass people here, why do we not have some of the best cars built here? Think about it. It don't make sense. These people are not American, bro. They spend all their money overseas. They go live in these different countries and shit like that, but they come make all their money in America. I'm telling y'all, they ain't living here, dog. Motherfucker, they not living here, bro. They just making their money on our ass, bro. Fucking us over, bro. Shit fucked up. I'm trying to learn how they doing it, though. I mean, I'm learning. I'm learning. That's why I pay attention to this shit. Like, I'm learning. That's why I read. Read.
That was after the tax cuts. They call them the Trump tax cuts, which were phenomenal. And just about everybody admits that. Now I'm going to take it from 21 to 15, but you have to make your product here. And I'm going to guard them because
it's 2024, bro, and you got children that can't read. They can't read or do math at their grade level. How is that possible? How are we going backwards? How do you go backwards? You can't read or do math at your grade level. How the fuck are we going backwards? How are the people getting dumber? The government fucked us. It's been fucking us. Democracy.
Part of it is, as per your first question, we have to guard our companies. Now they're going to have low taxes, low environmental costs, low energy, because I'm going to get the energy, drill, baby, drill. We're getting the energy way down. We'll have the lowest energy. We're going to have low environmental costs because we're going to have...
Trump care about America, dog.
People are tied up for years on environmental. I'm going to do an expedited environmental review.
Permitting, quick permitting. You had it once in the first term.
One of the reasons...
And then they undid it.
I mean, I was approving plants at levels that nobody's ever seen. We're talking about plants that normally wouldn't get done. But then if you do your product here, you go from 21 to 15. If you don't, you pay 21. 15 makes us the most competitive. There are some countries, but not like this. There are a few countries that are slightly less. But 15 makes us so competitive. Everyone's going to come rushing into our country, but we're going to protect them once they're here with tariffs, so that if somebody wants to make their product outside of our country and sell it in, they have to pay a tariff, substantial tariff, depending on, all different, because it depends on the country, it depends on where they are, how they're doing. And we have a case of India, which charges us massive, massive tariffs. You look at Harley Davidson and companies that went to India because they didn't want to pay 150, 200%. Brazil charges us a lot. China, always China. And, you know, I took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. No president ever took in 10 cents, not even, and I mean it, 10 cents. We never took in any money. I took in hundreds of billions of dollars. And now China's totally out of control. We have a deficit with China now that I've never seen anything like it, what they're doing with China. But we have a deficit with the country. We will take it from a deficit. We'll knock that down. When you start charging people tariffs, our country was the richest when we were doing tariffs. That was the richest. This was in the 1880s and 90s. We were you know, if you go back to the dates and you look, our country was so rich, we didn't know what to do with all the money we had. They had committees, the Great Tariff Committee of 1887. This was a committee that was set up to, like, where do you give all this? What do you do with all the money?
William McKinley.
That was under McKinley.
He was the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee.
Yeah.
The McKinley Tariff of 1890.
He was a big tariff.
I read the whole biography. Yeah. It was 600 pages.
He made money and Roosevelt spent it. So, you know, Roosevelt gets credit for being a great president. McKinley was actually a great president. He was assassinated. You know why he was assassinated? Because he was charging all these countries money, probably. Who the hell knows? But we were so rich. We had so much money they had committees set up on what to do with all the money. Wouldn't that be nice if we had that now? Now we give it away, we don't have it.
If you make money on these tariffs, would you then allocate it to lower taxes?
Lower taxes and paying off debt.
Yeah. How about this?
And you will pay off a lot of debt.
What about this idea? Let's come back to the 15% corporate rate, which would be a phenomenon. I mean, you'd win the global race for capital. You'd win the global race.
Well, you have to
money
do other
would come
things.
pouring in here.
Yeah.
But you mentioned John Deere Company. It's a venerable, old, great American company.
Yeah.
But if they're going to move plants to Mexico and then try to sell stuff back to the U.S., sneak in under, for example, the USMCA tariff schedule, you would charge them a 200% tariff.
Or 100%.
All right,
enough.
100%.
I would charge them enough that it would no longer make sense to go to Mexico. They
So
moved a big operation to Mexico. And they come in and they don't have to pay almost pay very little tax. So they're going to make it in Mexico, and they're going to sell it in here, and we get killed. All we do is lose jobs. And by the way, that's been happening for years. I stopped it during mine. Then we had to fix COVID. We had to work on the COVID situation. But we had the greatest economy in history. Companies were moving back in like nobody's ever seen. Everything was great.
So that's how
we had the greatest economy in history.
That's how you'd negotiate, though. That's the point I'm sort of driving at.
John Deere
John Deere won't do it because you're threatening. I mean, you will jack up their tariffs. Okay, they won't do it.
It wouldn't be a threat.
Now, to some extent,
in fact,
you're negotiating right now by saying this on the campaign trail. All right, you have an excellent chance of becoming president. They're getting the message. So this is where you will use tariffs to negotiate. Sometimes on trade, in this case, maybe on other things like remain in Mexico, or perhaps China, or perhaps other countries. I don't think people understand that. That's why I'm raising the question.
A tariff is a beautiful thing, but it's got a bad image. It needs you to fix the image. A tariff, we stop wars with tariffs. No. I mean, I had cases where I told a country they were being very aggressive with another country, had nothing to do with us. I just don't like seeing dead people, okay? And they were going to go to war. And I said, if you go to war, and they do a lot of business with the United States, I'm putting 100% tariff on everything you do, any business you do with us. No, this has nothing to do. I said, it does have. I stopped a war. Will I get Nobel Prizes? Never. I mean, look what we did with the Abraham Accords, how good that was. But you can stop wars with tariffs. The word tariff, if properly used, not stupidly used, but we used them, and that was when our country was the richest. And, you know, a lot of people say, well, but you had the Depression in Well, the tariffs were put on in 1932. The Depression had long started. We went to the income tax system. We would be able to cut taxes for the people in this country and charge other countries for the use of our country, for the pillage of our country, for the taking of our jobs, because that's what they're doing. And nobody's protected our country. So when I say the 15%, and I had a lot of calls, when I gave the speech and mentioned for the first time the 15, I had calls from the top analysts in the country, in the world, guys that are on your show, saying, where did you ever come up with that idea? Because the concept is 15, but you have to make your product here. Who gave you that idea? I said, I did. I gave me that idea. And they said, that idea is incredible. Because but you also have to protect that, because you have other countries, because they have no labor, no this, no that, that can come in and undercut you. And you know what they do, Larry? They undercut you. They drive your businesses out of business, and then they come in for a much higher number.
And you're still for reciprocity, the concept of reciprocity.
If somebody's charging us 100, we charge them 100. If China charges us on a car 100%, we charge them on a car 100%. It's very simple. You know, I have a certain senator named Lindsey Graham, and he's not into this as much as he is other things.
Yes.
And he's a nice guy, good guy. And he's, you know, he cares. He loves the country. Even though he's a progressive, that's okay. These are minor details. Let's talk reciprocity. He talks about trade. He says, well, I'm not so much into trade. Tell me. I said, a country is charging us 100% tariff. We're going to charge them for a similar product 100% tariff. He goes, so they charge.
He just told y'all what that shit cost. So if you go buy a Mercedes-Benz, and that bitch is listed at $120,000. It was $60,000. Or less. Probably like 40. 35, 40. Go overseas, buy that same Benz. You spend about 40, 50. You go where it was built. They charge in America 100%. You got one of them, man, pay attention, y'all. When y'all hearing this, y'all ain't hearing.
It's just simple.
Y'all not hearing.
We have
shit.
guys, even in Congress, that
not understanding.
for whatever reason, they don't want to do it. They actually say it's not fair trade. And I say, you're right, it's not fair trade, not fair trade for us. If we do this, we can become overnight a power again economically. We'll never be a power unless we do it. Unless we charge and unless we, because you know, we've been giving foreign countries such benefits over the years. South Korea, we're basically paying for their military. You know, I had them paying billions of dollars. I went to them, I said, you're not paying anything. You got to pay. And I had them paying billions of dollars. And I hear Biden gave it up for whatever reason. But look at the advantage they have when you do that. We have been helping countries, we're still helping countries come back from the Second World War. We helped Korea come back from the Korean War. But we never did anything about it. In other words, we've been helping them for many, many decades. It's time we stop. They're a money machine. It's time we stop. And be fair, but it's time we stop. We are helping countries.
But you would work a deal out with.
Yeah, work a deal. I could work a deal. I already did. I worked a deal, and then they gave it away.
You worked a deal out with
Biden
Japan
gave it away.
in return also.
Biden gave it away.
Yes.
They were paying. They agreed to pay me billions of dollars. It was all done. They started paying. Then when he came in, they cut it, and I hear that they're paying nothing again. They were they happy? Were they thrilled? Would they say they like me as opposed to like a Biden where they can get ripped off? You know, I can't imagine they'd say they love me.
South Korea is still an ally of the United States.
Sure, it's an ally, but you know, on trade, it's not an ally. In trade, it's an enemy. It's an enemy. You know, some of the worst people we have in terms of trade are our allies. Japan is, you know, an ally, right? And I made a deal there with Abe, who was a great man who got executed, who got, just horrible what happened. He was assassinated, but he was great. He was a great leader, too. And because I liked him so much, I probably made a softer deal than I would have normally made. But Japan, you know, rips us. They all rip. Almost every country rips us, and I stopped it.
Do y'all hear that shit? So y'all be thinking like just your friends and shit rip you off, or people you know rip you off. Man, countries that's allied with other countries rip each other off. You think a motherfucking friend, a homeboy, a partner, or somebody you know ain't ripping you off or won't rip you off, nigga? Are you fucking crazy? That's why I tell y'all you need to pick up a book, learn the history of the world, learn about the world for real. I know about the world down to the simplest form because I read. It's very important. I really seek knowledge. I really go get that history, y'all. That shit important. All right, it's very important. It's so important. All right, it's important. It's important. No. When people fuck me over, I expect it. They just don't get a chance to do it twice. You know, that's it. Anybody can fuck me over once. Anybody. Well, not anybody. Yeah, a lot of people can fuck me over once. A lot of people can fuck me over once.
Now, China's one, but it's not just China.
Policy in a second.
No, you have to protect. First, the companies move in, but then you have to protect them, and you protect them with tariffs. Mm-hmm. And they either pay the tariff or they move a plant to the United. I want China to build plants for car plants, as an example. Mm-hmm. I want China to build car plants here, not in Mexico.
Yes. Well.
And it's very simple. I mean, it's amazing that it's not done. And people come to me and they say, wow, that makes sense. But you have congressmen and people that are against it. I said to one man, he's no longer in politics. He happened to be from Pennsylvania, happened to be a senator from Pennsylvania. I said, so let me get this straight. If China's charging us 100% tariff for the similar product, could I charge them 75? No. Why? It's not free trade. I said, okay, could I charge them 50%? They're charging. No, it's not. Could I charge them 25 or even 10%? No. I said, are you a stupid person or what's wrong with you? And he never ran for office again.
It becomes free trade.
Let me tell you, he never ran for office again.
I think with reciprocity in trade negotiations,
everybody gives up. And you go back to nothing, yes. Okay?
I know.
This is a guy that people said was smart. He never ran for office because I wouldn't give him an endorsement. Because I said anybody that says that. So think of it. We're paying them 100%. We make them pay 100%. One of two things are going to happen. We'll either collect the money or they're going to say, let's not pay any. Let's just go back to basics, right? But there are a lot of cases where they're charging us a tremendous amount. We charge them nothing. They're making a fortune. And by the way, hence we have a $35 trillion. We can start cutting into that. We can have, we have a tremendous deficit in this country. We've had it for for decades, right? But we have a tremendous deficit in this country. We can go to almost no deficit almost immediately.
Let's talk. You're right.
Now, one thing, we've treated the world nice for a long time. We've been run by stupid people that allowed us to get into this situation. And it's about time these other countries play a little ball with us. And all I want is fairness. And if they're fair, we have something that you've never seen in this country till, literally the 1880s, the 1890s. But that was the time. You hear about wealth, but we were giving a lot away for a long time. That was the time we were the richest. We were so rich. And it was all based on tariff. There was no income tax. It was all based on countries coming. And if you look at some of McKinley's words, he was very beautiful in the word, we will not allow the pillage of our country. And if they're going to take our jobs, and if they're going to do this and that, they've got to pay for it. And all I'm saying is that they've got to pay for it.
Joining me now is Florida's Attorney General, Ashley Moody. AG, thanks very much for calling in. I know you're in Tampa right now. What can you tell us about what's going on there and in the rest of the state as well?
Yeah, good morning, Maria. It's going to be a tough morning for Floridians waking up in the dark without power. I know it's difficult right now for law enforcement who are out on high water vehicles and even vehicles we call sheriffs that can even get further than high water vehicles
don't get fucked over twice.
They're now just trying in the dark to figure out what are the best ways to, when they do rescue people, what are the routes to be able to get to hospitals. This storm was unique in that it was hard to predict the effects of this storm. So we had about, I think, 125 tornado warnings, even before, throughout the storm and even before it hit. We know that there were at least 27 tornadoes. As you said, we've confirmed loss of life. And that was on a county on the east, towards the east of Florida, not even where the hurricane initially made landfall in Siesta Key. So the interesting part of this is, yes, it came on board as a Cat 3, but a lot of the power and rain was on the northern side. So Pinellas and Hillsborough, where the storm surged, and of course we'll learn more as the light comes up and you can see more, but it was such a powerful wind and rain event. Some are calling it a 1 in 1,000 year event, as it affected with over 2 hours with rain. So they were making rescues on first floors of apartments and at the north side of the storm. So it's going to be a tough morning here in Florida, and we appreciate you thinking of us and paying attention.
Oh, we're praying for you and all of the constituents there. AG, let me get your take on how the White House's response to this has been. How would you characterize it?
We have been so focused on prepping the state and strategizing on how we're going to recover both life and property in the aftermath. I don't think Governor DeSantis or I or anybody in leadership here are paying much attention to that right now. I know there were this accusation or something that Governor DeSantis wouldn't take Harris's calls, but look, I don't think she's been involved in hurricane prep. I think he is so laser focused on getting the debris out from Helene, making sure everybody was safe, we were staged. I know she mentioned even monitoring price gouging, and that she was watching that, and I thought, that's so strange. I'm in charge of that here in Florida and have people on the ground. I don't know that we've spoken with her. So,
well, I mean, look, President Trump went to Georgia first when Helene first hit in Georgia, and there was a lot of talk about how Trump was on the ground first and the Democrats were slow to respond, but they're trying to change the conversation right now and saying that this is all misinformation around the government's response to these hurricanes. Watch this. Do we have the tape? They're saying that this is all misinformation, and yet we also know that Karine Jean-Pierre 2 years ago told us about how FEMA money was going to be available for illegal migrants. Watch this. Huh? AG Mooney, we're waiting for these sound bites to play, and they're not playing. What would you say in terms of FEMA's response? Do you feel that FEMA has been on the ground and has had the wherewithal to give Florida, North Carolina, Georgia what they need?
Well, let me just say, after Helene hit, I was personally in these affected areas, and in areas where it hit and there were no homes left, just a concrete slab. There was an individual, a FEMA, at that Emergency Operations Center. I have met them here in Florida when we have had disasters, and I do know that Governor DeSantis is working with them closely. I will say, I heard yesterday the onslaught of accusations about misinformation, et cetera, coming out of a briefing from the White House about a hurricane approaching that was going to affect our state. And I thought to myself, this started with the Department of Homeland Security, Mayorkas, saying we are running out of money.
That's right.
So, in terms of misinformation, instead of coming out so strongly and aggressively against others from the White House right before a storm, maybe they should just meet with him and say, what are you doing? Why are you spreading this information? And by the way, the people here in Florida, and Americans for that matter, they see when a blue state declares a disaster. When Massachusetts declared an emergency, a Biden-Harris emergency, because of the immigration issue, because they've opened up the border and they don't know how to pay and feed and shelter all these people that are now in our country, that's on them. That's not misinformation. And And you know FEMA has to help with that. And so when Mayorkas comes out and says there's not enough money, of course people are going to assume that. So instead of starting this briefing, warning as this destructive storm is approaching a state, why don't you start with, hey, I don't know, maybe explaining to the American people the misstatements from your own administration. That would be helpful, if in fact they are misstatements.
Well, I think this is a really important point because no one would be talking about FEMA running out of money had it not been for Alejandro Mayorkas telling us that FEMA is not going to be able to get through the hurricane season because it's running out of money. And he told us that a week and a half ago. And since we found, Karine Jean-Pierre talking about how FEMA money is being used for illegal migrants. And she said it on tape in 2022. And so where the misinformation is, I have no idea, but they're clearly trying to change the conversation. Ashley Moody, it's good to talk with you. We send our best regards to all of the citizens affected by this hurricane. Thank you.
Israel's defense minister says all options are on the table when it comes to Iran. Rebecca Heinrich joins me now, security expert. Rebecca, will the Israelis attack Iranian nuclear facilities? And if they do, what would be the repercussions?
Well, Stuart, if they're going to do it, now is the time to do it. They have momentum on their side. There's basically what I consider 3 levels of attack. They can just basically attack the facilities that were related to this latest attack from Iran against Israel. That would be symbolic. And then you have an attack where they go after the oil fields, go after oil exports. And then you have the nuclear facilities they could attack. If they're going to do the second one, though, they might as well go for the third one. If Iran has been so bold and so willing to take on risk to attack Israel not once but twice with ballistic missiles, I don't understand how anybody can say at this point that Israel does not have the right and the strategic imperative to go after those nuclear facilities.
President Biden is urging restraint. Israel apparently is not listening to President Biden. Would they listen to a Harris if she was elected president?
I don't think that they would. I see both of them the same. She's the incumbent. She doesn't really have a much stronger presence or influence relative to President Biden. And Israel's going to do what it needs to defend itself. And as J.D. Vance just said, basically the Biden administration has tried to go both ways, tried to say they support Israel, but then they restrain Israel. Of course, they do that to the Ukrainians as well, say they support them and then restrain them. I would note, though, too, there's other countries that would be very grateful to the Israelis if they were to take out this nuclear facility. They won't say it publicly because of their populations, but the Gulf states, the Saudis, the Emiratis, the Jordanians, the Egyptians, all of those countries would be relieved to know that the Israelis have finally taken out what is a threat to the entire region, which is the potential of the Iranians having a nuclear capability.
What is the role of Saudi Arabia in this? We really haven't heard much at all.
No, they're really a caught between a rock and a hard place. They've got a population, obviously, that's going to be sympathetic to the Palestinians. But the Saudis and their current leadership wants to have a much more stable region. They still understand that the Iranians are the primary source of instability and terrorism throughout the Middle East. And so the Saudis have been a good partner to the United States, especially on energy. And really, the Biden administration came in and undid the good working relationship that the Trump administration had with the Saudis. We really need to get back to that. Work with the Gulf partners that want to help us squeeze the Iranians, bankrupt the Iranian regime, and enable the Israelis to defend themselves. One last point. You really got to make a difference between the Iran regime and the Iranian people. The Iranian...
You could say America wrong and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? For all these wars and shit. Like, you could say that easily. You could say that. But at the end of the day, you want to be on the winning team. Like, if you sitting still and you see 1 million soldiers on the left and 500,000 soldiers on the right, nobody's going to go run over there where 500,000 soldiers at. Nobody in their right mind is going to think, okay, I'm finna go over here and run with the 500,000 soldiers. Nobody in their right mind will do that. So you can be against what America do as far as wars and all that type of shit. You can be completely against it. But you better be happy that you in the country that's the bully. You know, if that is the case. I'm not saying that's the case. No speculation here. But if that is the case, I would want to be in a country that's the meanest. What about y'all? If you was in the middle and you see a war finna break out, you know the war is gonna break out. You know a war is finna happen. You in the middle. You right in the middle. It's a million people on this side, 500,000 people on the right side. Morally, this side is like this side have a, you know what I'm saying? They got the right, like. Let's see what's right. Morally, this side is right. Morally, this side is wrong. But they got 500,000 more people than this people. Who are you turning your back against? Which one? Think about it. So thank you. I'm American. Well, America done did some shit, why? But what country ain't? Every country done did some shit. I'm American. Yeah, I'm a motherfucking American. Shit, I'm with America to the end. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. My people born over here. I was born right here. I ain't switching sides. My country. My motherfucking country, man. Staying right here. People always tell me, man, you should go overseas. I go eventually. I go see that shit, but I ain't seen all this country yet. You know what I'm saying? This shit I ain't never seen. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen all of this country. I don't need to go nowhere right now. There's still parts of this country I ain't seen, beautiful parts. Wyoming is beautiful. I ain't been in Manhattan. I ain't been to none of the east. I ain't been to the eastern. I've been to Virginia, but other than that, I ain't been all the way up. Man, can I see my country first? Like, before I go to another country, I need to know my own. To me, that's how I feel. Before I go to another country, I need to have seen at least my country. Yeah, they good. But that's how I feel. Everybody ain't gotta feel like that. People always talking about going somewhere else, going overseas, going this place, but they ain't been all over this country. I don't get it. I want to see this motherfucker. Type shit. Y'all should read. You need to read Thomas Sowell.
Here's how I run a multi-six-figure social media management business as a team of one without wasting my precious time chasing invoices, onboarding clients.
If you believe that new plants and factories can dot our landscape, that new energy can power our future, that new schools can provide ladders of opportunity to this nation of dreamers, if you believe in a country where everyone gets a fair shot and everyone does their fair share and everyone plays by the same rules, then I need you to vote this November.
All right, new plants and factories, new energy, new schools, and a fair shot. What's wrong with that?
I wonder if the fair shot includes the taxpayers. But we've had factories before there was Barack Obama. Hard as that is to believe, you know, and we've had less of it since he came in.
Okay, Tom. So let me ask this question.
Real, y'all. I'm going about this shit.
Which is politically incorrect.
Are you
which makes it all the
Obama
more important to
fan?
ask. Some component of the voting public voted for him last time around as an act of national expiation because they felt, and I frankly, I could feel it myself. We were all proud, even those of us who supported the opponent, all felt proud the following day that the United States of America, the Constitution takes slavery into account, the Civil War, but finally we have a black man as president of the United States. All right, that's perfectly understandable. We know that took place. 4 years later, what about the argument that it is so important for him to get this right? So important as a continuation of this national act of expiation and healing and so forth, that in some way it's only right to give him, frankly, more slack than you might.
Affirmative action for president.
Well, there you go. I suppose that's what it amounts to. I guess you don't buy that one.
Well, when you realize that the President of the United States has the lives of 300 million people in his hands, he has the future of Western civilization in his hands. He has the freedom that's been inherited over the centuries in his hands, and he's already starting to dismantle that. I really don't think this is a question of any individual, whoever's in the White House, being cut any slack or less than you need to.
Boy, they did a switcheroo, boy, with Obama. Boy, I'm talking about, y'all, that nigga fucked the economy up so bad. Oh, man, he fucked up business so bad in our country. Like, Obama did a number on our country. But since he's so-called black, a lot of y'all don't even know it. Y'all don't even recognize what he did. You don't even see it. You can't tell. You're so poor that you can't tell. You're so poor that no matter what happens in the world, you're still going to be poor. Because you're poor. And you're a poor thinker. So none of this stuff really affects y'all. Because you're poor.
It's cut slack to people who have power over 300 million other people.
Tom Sowell this past summer, quote, "The America that has flourished for more than 2 centuries is being quietly but steadily dismantled by the Obama administration," close quote. Now, you note the way the Obama administration has used executive orders to waive provisions in the No Child Left Behind Act and to repeal, your word, the legal requirement that welfare recipients must work. He's the president, Tom. Doesn't he get to make adjustments in this law or that law?
Well, he didn't. The oath that he took of office was that he would faithfully execute the laws. Now, I don't think they
That No Child Left Behind shit got all these kids graduating without being able to read, count. It's all bad. The colleges is all flooded with a bunch of idiots. A bunch of liberalism is going on. And I'm not mad at all liberals, but that overly accepting shit is bad. That, man.
They execute the same way as the mafia makes
Thomas Sowell on Obamacare. Quote, "Obamacare imposes huge costs on some institutions, while the president's waivers exempt other institutions from having to pay those same costs. The law says you've got to..."
Shit's crazy because y'all don't even got private insurance. A lot of y'all don't got private insurance. A lot of y'all don't got private dental care. A lot of y'all don't pay insurance, private insurance. A lot of y'all don't pay for private dental care. A lot of y'all use government assistance, insurance, government, Medicare, Medicaid. We're not in the same world. You know what I'm saying? You're not in the real world. You're being took care of. But when you get took care of, all the people that's not getting took care of are getting shitted on so bad. It's like you're being rewarded for bad behavior. You're being rewarded for bad decision making. This is very important.
This, and over here we have the Secretary of Health and Human Services granting a waiver to this person or that entity, or this waiver's taking place over here. Well, it's legal. Nobody seems to have sued them for that.
One of the great problems is that
the system's
people
so bad
do not
right
react.
now.
I mean,
anybody
all this that
the system's so bad, anybody can use it and like come up like. I ain't gonna say anybody, but if you're smart enough, you can come up on the system right now. Like if you use the system the right way, you can come up. A lot of people are using the system the wrong way.
The Constitution of the United States is a set of words on pieces of paper. The only way that the Constitution can protect us is if we protect the Constitution. If we rise up and revolt, if we vote out of office people who violate the Constitution, then, of course, it will mean something. if people can do this, say a few pretty words, and we say, oh, well, then the Constitution will, over time, erode to the point where it will mean absolutely nothing. There'll be nice words on paper, but people with power will just do what they feel like.
What about those 9 people in black robes who sit on the bench across the street from the United States Capitol? Isn't it the job of the Supreme Court of the United States to defend the Constitution?
It is, but they alone can't do it. And more importantly, if Obama gets reelected, he's probably going to have 1 or maybe 2 more members to appoint. And from that point on, it will just be a rubber stamp for whatever he chooses to do.
To the economy, Tom Sowell, quote, "We are not yet Greece, but we are not exempt from the rules of arithmetic that caught up with Greece. We have just a little more time," close quote.
He's talking about the fall of America. We're approaching it. We're approaching the fall of America. Literally.
So what's going to go wrong? Let's assume Barack Obama, for the moment, let's assume Barack Obama wins re-election. What bad things happen?
For one thing, we start running out of money. That's the problem of Greece. See, the secret of the welfare state is you can do almost anything in the short run, juggling money from here to there and so on. But in the long run, the arithmetic can't be ignored. And in the long run, you're going to run out of money, which is what's happened in Greece, which is starting to happen in Spain, and which can happen in the United States.
So you're an optimist. That is to say,
most Americans right now can't afford if an emergency happens. And most Americans cannot afford if an emergency happens. Like, they just can't afford it. Like, if something go wrong, screwed. Shit, I'm going to check my bank account. Let me check my bank account.
the welfare state, against which you have devoted enormous professional energies over these several decades now, is about to come to an end, one way or the other.
That's right, but it makes a difference how it comes to an end.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying. What feels different? I mean, look, we have 8 point something or other percent unemployment. As a matter of fact, if the same number of people were still in the workforce as were when President Obama took office, the unemployment rate would be 11%. The economy is really bad.
Yeah.
But by historical standards, it's still a wealthy country.
Yes.
People can get by. Journalists are already defining this state of affairs as the new normal. So really, 4 more years of Barack Obama does what to us? We can skate by, Tom.
The question is, how long can you skate? Greece discovered that there does come a point where there is no more money. In Spain, people are already leaving Spain in drove and taking their money out of the Spanish banks with them. One of the things that you can do in the long run and be forced to do is simply print more money. And as they print more money, that is simply a hidden form of taxation. I mean, when the Federal Reserve creates money to buy government bonds and keeps the interest rate low in order to make the price of the debt service low, what that means is that if you have your money put aside in the bank and you're getting 1% and the inflation rate is 3%, that means they're taking 2% of your savings every single year, and you know how compound interest is.
Right.
And even under the current conditions, a $100 bill in 1998 would not buy as much as a $20 bill would have bought in 1960. So the thievery that goes on through inflation is huge. The Republicans, I think, have a notion.
Just told y'all, bro. I'm talking everything you buy. Everything you buy is supposed to be 70-80% cheaper. Everything. Everything. Listen, everything you purchase was created at 80 to 90% cheaper than what they're selling it to you for. On top of getting hit with a tax. They don't fuck with you. And you still doing the same shit every single day. You're meant to do the your sheet.
Because so many people are unemployed and on food stamps, that is a negative for Obama. Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected in a landslide after having an unemployment rate higher than Obama's. There was not a single month in the first term of Franklin D. Roosevelt when unemployment was not in double digits. And in a number of months, the unemployment was over 20%. And he won the biggest landslide in American history. So the people who think that the economy is the key, that you can't win if your unemployment is 8%, forget it.
When it comes to getting to market in a more quick manner, Popular Pays helps us move quickly and efficiently.
I tell y'all, boy, if you fucked up, you can't get more fucked up. Tell them you're gonna change, baby.
Shortly before the Obama administration took...
You should read The Housing Boom and Bust. Right. Read that book. It's by Thomas Sowell. Read that book. The Housing Boom and Bust by Thomas Sowell. Read that book. Read that book. Read it. Read it. All right? Read the book. Read the book. It makes you want to buy. You're gonna look to spend your money. You're gonna start spending your money wisely. Like when you look into how the economy is, how the world really works, you're never gonna try to save any money. You're gonna always look to invest your money.
The man who would become President Obama's chief of staff, Rahm Emanuel, said, quote, "You never want a serious crisis to go to waste," close quote. Why do you find that significant?
Because it means that the crisis is presenting them with an opportunity to do things they wouldn't be able to do otherwise. And that's how he sees it. And everything that has happened since the new administration indicates that that's how the administration as a whole sees it.
So the crisis is providing an opportunity for President Obama and his supporters to do what they would have liked to do,
yes,
but would otherwise have been unable to do.
Just as in the case of the New Deal, that the New Dealers, most of the key people in the New Deal, were for big government intervention long before there was a stock market crash. It's just that the stock market crash gave them an opportunity to step in. It's another parallel is that people are talking about all these highly intelligent people with whom the president has surrounded himself. In Washington, FDR surrounded himself with highly intelligent people. That is no guarantee of anything, except brilliant rationalizations for failure in some cases.
All right. Let me push back a little bit.
Being around smart people is not going to help you. That could just be a brilliant rationalizations for failure, meaning that they understand the failure. That's all it is. They're smart and they understand the failure. They're able to rationalize it. They get it. That's all it means, being around people that's brilliant. I know a lot of people that's not brilliant and very successful. Because they took action, not just around thinking, talking, playing.
When President Obama took office, the financial system appeared close to collapse. Serious economists, including our colleague at the Hoover Institution, Robert Barrow, wrote that there was a significant chance of not just recession, but depression. And today we've got a financial system that's functioning. Housing prices are settling rather than crashing. And there seems to be a general consensus that we'll see a recovery within a year to 18 months. So why not take President Obama at his word and simply impute to him the motives that he claims? He came into office, passed a stimulus bill and a raft of other measures because of the financial crisis demanded that he do so, and it seems to have worked.
Well, I'm not as optimistic in predicting how things are going to be wonderful in a couple of years, but we'll know more in a couple of years. If you look at the stimulus package, the one thing it has not done is stimulate. Prior to the bailout money for the banks were lending a certain amount. After the bailout money, the banks were lending less. The stimulus means that he's not depending just on the government's own money being spent, producing the result, that this will stimulate others in the economy. It is not. The circulation of money, the speed with which money circulates in the economy,
That's like the government gave everybody $1,400 and then went up 10% or 0.3% on taxes the next day. They made all their money back. You gave the money back. All you gotta do is make things higher around you. The government could just give all of us $10,000 right now and raise the price on everything about 0.2, 0.3%. And you will spend that money so fast, so quickly, it'll make it mean nothing. Money you have means nothing. You better make it mean something. And the only way you can make it mean something is by growing it. Your money right now is very small. The only way you grow money is by investing in it. You're going to fail a lot, but it's okay. Failure's good. Just invest your money.
Fell to the lowest level in 50 years.
I told y'all 3 or 4 years ago about a dog. It don't matter if you breed or not. You could be a YouTuber just showing your relationship with your dog. Show the relationship with you and your dog. Maybe you'll start, if you start doing that, maybe you'll get into other things. You start being more social. Do something. I told you buying dogs will get you out the house. You're not listening. I told you it's not about the dogs. It's about you developing responsibility. A lot of y'all don't have responsibility right now. A lot of y'all are very irresponsible. A dog is going to teach you responsibility because you cannot ignore it.
It fell during
after the stimulus.
Yes. Business reduced its investment by something like 25 or more %. So that if you're looking in terms of what actually happens rather than the words that are used, what actually has happened shows no such stimulation as they're talking about.
Did you know that AI is set to create 97 million new jobs?
I always pay attention to the facts.
Barack Obama, during the same debate, if a woman is out there trying to raise a family, trying to support her family, and is being treated unfairly, then the court has to stand up if nobody else will. And that's the kind of judge I want.
That's unconstrained. That somehow or other there are people with the judicial robes on who can just decide these things ad hoc, which among other things would mean we would no longer really have law. You would discover, once you got into the courtroom in front of the judge, you would then discover what the decision is, but you'd have no clue beforehand.
So that would, a full embrace of the unconstrained vision, which Barack Obama seems intent on, would overturn the fundamental basis of American law, which is a nation of laws, not of men.
Absolutely.
It would be a nation of men, of judges.
Yes.
All right. September of this year, the Rasmussen polling company asked this question: should the Supreme Court make decisions based on what's written in the Constitution and legal precedents, or should it be guided mostly by a sense of fairness and justice? Close quote. 82% of McCain supporters said the Supreme Court should base its decisions on the Constitution. 29% of Obama supporters agree. 11% of McCain supporters said the Supreme Court should make its decisions on fairness. 49% of Obama supporters said that it should. Now, here's the question. You've said McCain constrained, Obama unconstrained. But what this would seem to indicate, this polling data, that this is not just a debate taking place among politicians or American elites. It's reached very deep into the American public.
Oh, absolutely.
49% of Americans think the Supreme Court should...
Of Obama supporters.
49% of Obama supporters, exactly, say so does that startle you? Does it alarm you?
It doesn't startle me, it depresses me. But, this has been going on for a long time. People complain about a court decision on the basis that they wish it had turned out differently. But that isn't the judge's job. There was a wonderful case, I wish I could remember the title of it, which Clarence Thomas said that he really agreed with the position taken by one of the litigants in the case, but that he wasn't there to decide that issue. He was there to decide what did the law say, and the law said otherwise, and so he voted against them. You see the same thing in Oliver Wendell Holmes, where in a number of cases, he makes very cutting disparagements of one of the litigants in the case, and then votes in favor of him, because I'm not here to decide what the merit is. And one of his decisions, he said, I am not at liberty to discuss the justice of the act. The act is what it is, and once I know what that is, that's the decision that I have to make.
Well, then,
What
if
has
you
been,
see,
you know, what
well,
can
one more
be
question here. You write the
unburdened
unconstrained
by
vision.
what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can.
Nigga, that's so funny, dog. Nah, that was good. No cap.
First time in history, it'd be good for us to have a black woman as president for the first time in history.
Yeah.
But my vote's kind of still on Trump. It'd be good.
See what can be, what Vice President Harris will say repeatedly. What is the quote? The quote is that we can see what can be unburdened by what has been.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know? What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
Is that word salad or Marxism? It's Marxism. That is, in fact, not at all word salad. It's a Marxist incantation, as a matter of fact. It's like a spell. So you can see the possibility of a world that's unburdened from its own history, which is exactly what Mao Zedong did when he launched the campaign of Smash the Four Olds, the four old characteristics of Chinese society. They were going to make a new China that was going to be unburdened by what had been in the past of China. This is what the Soviets, the Bolsheviks, did when they took over power in Russia, is that they were going to make the new Russia. They're going to make the new man, as a matter of fact. People could become unburdened by what has been so that they could see what could possibly be in the terms of a socialist utopia. So when she says that, I assume, given that her father was a Marxist, I assume she knows what she's saying, and I don't buy her idiot valley speak shtick one bit. I think she's far more smart and far more savvy than conservatives have given her credit for, and she is an outright Marxist. It is very, very clear in her language, and that's what the Democrats want to nominate for president right now, which is kind of horrifying.
This shit ain't about Democrats versus Republicans. This shit's some different shit, y'all, for real. Like, y'all don't understand what's going on. This ain't about Democrats. This ain't about, this shit about America. I'm scrolling on X right now, y'all.
Really? Yeah. So I found when looking at her background is the first time she registered to vote was at age 29. So really? Yeah. So many years after coming to the United States, I found when looking at her background is the first time she read.
My first time voting gonna be that shit. I've never voted before. I'm gonna register to vote right now. I never registered to vote before. Unless I'm just automatically. You know what I'm saying? I think this shit probably automatic for real. I'm gonna put this in and tell y'all what happened. Yeah, they want my driver license number. Makes sense, man. I'm gonna register to vote now. You don't even say nothing about being registered to vote on my driver license. Security, please close the browser when you're out there. I gotta print something? I'm gonna print that. You gotta print something? No, I didn't know how to do all this. I gotta print it and take it down to the county office. Or mail it. I gotta mail it? This is why people don't vote. Just figured out why people don't vote. I should be able to put my social security number in. I got a job. My driver and my social security number should be enough. to verify who I am, a citizen. Oh my gosh, that cannot be real.
Never fits quite right. Just not quite right. How do you give it back?
Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This is a Beretta A400. I bought it when I was shooting a lot of trap because it has a kind of a patented thing, a kickoff, so when you get old, it doesn't hurt your shoulder as much.
Yeah.
That's my theory. And it never fits quite right. Never fits quite right. Just not quite right.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Kitty is in a box now. We're gonna hang out until tomorrow when we can go to bed.
That's weird, dog. Make nuts, man.
I'm always feeling off.
A cat will run off, dog, and like, you can't really take it nowhere for real, cause it'll just, you gotta keep it like tied up, cause it'll just go off and do its own thing. Like, it might find its way back to the house, it might not, but that's cats, bro. Like, but a dog, you have a dog, but I don't gotta have my dog on a leash or nothing. Like, my dog ain't going nowhere. Like, nigga ain't finna go nowhere. Nigga finna be, I don't give a damn if I'm, like, when you see people out, homeless people on the side of the road, you don't see them when cats do you. Cat ain't finna just sit there and chill with you all day on no goddamn corner. A cat ain't finna just sit there and hang out with you on the side of the freeway all day. But a dog will sit there right there the whole time. Happy. Don't wanna go nowhere else. Man, when you got a long goddamn torso, it's supposed to go back, you just can't reach. It ain't go till it's gone. It ain't gone till it's gone. It's gone.
Take it seriously. As President of the United States, I am yeah, I am radical. We need to get radical about what we are doing and take it seriously. As President of the United States, I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a green new deal. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program.
I believe it will totally eliminate private insurance.
Let's eliminate all of that. But would you support changing the dietary guidelines? Yes. You know, the food pyramid. When people
Yes.
To reduce red meat specifically.
Yes, I would.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
This whole movement is about rightly saying we need to take a look at these budgets.
Harris asserted that ICE is perceived as the modern-day Ku Klux Klan.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
I see no.
Are you aware that there's a
that
perception?
puts ICE in the same category as the KKK? Is that what you're asking me? I see no parallel.
I'm not finished.
I see none.
And yeah, I am radical. We need to get radical about what we are doing.
It's way cold in the living room right now, but it's cold. And no AC even on. I don't even got the AC on, it's cold. I gotta check and see what all the dog people been doing over the way. Man, when I tell y'all I don't be watching no dog videos, I wouldn't lie to you. Promise I wouldn't lie to you. Wouldn't lie to you. I don't watch dog videos. I'm just gonna check on the dog folks. Shit, this damn everybody's December, See what's going on in the world. Alright, CB Channels, he had 75,000 subscribers. He posted a video 2 days ago. Check him out. We got a new dog.
Everyone knows Halloween is all about black, and my goals have all the.
Kennel family, man. The City Kennel team is alive, man. Listen, so you guys know the hurricane just hit, and it's crazy, man. This is the day after the hurricane, like literally. My neighborhood got messed up, semi-bad, you feel me? Like, I want to say, like 1 out of 10, it was maybe like a 6. It wasn't too bad. I appreciate everybody that was in my DMs telling me to stay safe, be safe, all that, man. Showing their appreciation, you know what I'm saying? Showing their concerns and love, man. I really do appreciate all that, man. I appreciate all y'all. Right now, you guys, I'm back to work, man. I mean, I don't care about the hurricane. The dogs gotta get fed. We gotta make this money. We gotta breed these dogs. You hear me? So right now, you guys can see I'm meeting at the spot to pick up this female. You guys know I told y'all I had a female that was available, that was in heat. So I'm picking her up. She did get sold. She got sold to one of my guys. So what we ended up doing, we ended up doing a deal where I get some cash and a pup back. So we're gonna go ahead and get that taken care of. So it is a Chaya daughter. For the ones who know who Chaya is the one that had the aggression problem when I first got her. She told me that I'm gonna need a muzzle because she's aggressive, but you guys know I'm not worried about that. That shit gonna phase me. I'm gonna get her right. But I'm waiting on her to pull up, you guys. When she get her, we'll get everything she's ready. I'm catching on a little bit.
Ready?
Y'all, these micro bullies, dog, they look like they look like Frenchies almost, like a way bigger Frenchie.
Alright, you guys. Give him up. Alright, you guys. Like I told you, she is in heat, man. What's up, girl? You alright? You ready?
No, dog.
How small that girl is. Small, compact, big. Super bones, everything.
Nice puppy, my boy. Yeah, she in heat, boy. That thing's
She looks
swole, boy.
amazing. And she's in heat, like I told you guys. We worked out a deal with my man, so we're gonna run her back to juice. I get a pup back and some cash, so. Come here, girl. They said she got a little attitude problem, but you guys know I'm not worried about that. I'll figure that shit out. Her mom is China, so you guys know how that went. What's up, girl? You alright? Alright, you guys, so everybody that slept on this deal, man, on this nano bitch, y'all trippy, bro. Look at this bitch, bro. So y'all can just get a, you know what I'm saying, a perception of this girl. Everybody that slept on this girl. Everybody that slept on this girl, bro. Everybody slept on her, bro. I had a crazy deal. 4K outright come with a juice spare credit or 3,200 with a pump back. Everybody slept on this bitch. Look at this bitch, bro.
I'm gonna go to the gym, y'all. I'll with y'all in a little bit. I'm finna go work out for real. Catch y'all a little bit later.